Gamng. And again, this is an elimination match. I'm Daltrus, joined by Gamng, and this should be a pretty interesting series. This is a Doom pick coming out by Carstensz. It's been a while since we've seen a Doom pick. Do you think that Doom is still reliable considering that high cooldown?
We don't pick Doom if there's no need of it. So Carstensz, they pick Doom here, I think especially just for the Arbor to disable the borrow time healing. And Doom should be one of the best counter to Arbor here. And the Centaur to counter the Doom so that they could have the Stampede now to save the Arbor with the speed. Counter the Doom. So both teams trying to like counter each and other to have the better draft.
Roar Gaming pick up the Wind Ranger, and this should just be a Wind Ranger support, because I do recall Roar Gaming really like to play with that kill shot. They already have the Abaddon, so you're going to have a Wind Ranger and Phoenix support most likely come out by Roar Gaming. Meanwhile, Carstensz, I mean, I seem to think like their supports better, because Gamng, that egg is going to be very vulnerable. The Marcy's Unleash is a very easy spell to use, and it's very easy for the Marcy to get on top of the egg, especially with that rebound, just to be able to pop it out.
Yeah, also Marcy support, even a core Marcy or support Marcy, he will naturally build a BKB most of the time as the first or second item. So they have no problem for Marcy getting in with the BKB to destroy the egg. And we might see a Wind Ranger carry this game just because of the Doom pick counter the Arbor, and they can still put the Arbor to the position 5 and switch the Wind Ranger to the position 1 to get a better matchup in the game, just to avoid the bad Doom matchup.
I mean, the Abaddon position 5 would be pretty strong, considering you have the lasso on the other side, so you have that strong dispel. You can keep your Wind Ranger safe, plenty of heal coming out too, between the Abaddon and the Phoenix. The Sunray, maybe one of those two gets an urn. And since the urns now stack up, both of them can actually go for that. So I wouldn't mind an Abaddon 5 pick. Although it would seem that they would lack the overall damage output. I mean, the Centaur is good in his damage, but not exactly too high, especially if you're going to be going for the defensive utility like the Pipe or the Crimson Guard. So one of the weaknesses that I would see from Roar Gaming is that their damage output is going to be low in the early to mid game. Something that Carstensz are not going to struggle with. I mean, the Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave, pure damage in the early game, that should be enough.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. They need more damage now for Roar Gaming. They have decent lane, some team fight potential with the Phoenix egg, but most of their hero, they don't do big damage, or they only do like single target damage. They need like something that can dish out constant damage, or someone that could lane against a Queen for Roar Gaming. And we can see a Puck ban. That's a pretty good ban. It's a pretty good matchup against the Queen. Maybe another Spirit Hero ban, something like Amber, yeah.
I mean, they do ban out the Emperor Spirit, Carstensz, and they also take out the Puck, but there are still 2 spirits left in the pool, and Storm Spirit is always going to be a showstopper for the Queen of Pain, making the Blinkins very risky. At the same time, Storm himself is a very risky pick because of that Doom and that Batrider. So you get grabbed up by that lasso, you are more likely than to just end up dead. Which begs the question, Gamng, Roar clearly need a playmaker that deals damage, but also brings in control for those team fights. Who can they possibly go for?
Like the Storm you mentioned can be a good option. Even there's some good hard control from Carstensz that could shut down the hero, the Storm. but still having a Storm, especially with the Garden Grave meta build right now, Storm might not be might not be bad here. Can be good here, or maybe something like Lush, that butterfly effect. He plays it a lot too. Shrek can be another good option in terms of damage output and in terms of like counter matchup.
And it seems like it will just be that Storm Spirit pick. Meanwhile, Carstensz, they double down on their disable, right? Doom plus the lasso, and they pick up the Clinks, a hero that is very squishy. Storm can get on top of the Clinks. You have an Abaddon core who'll most likely be going for the Blink Dagger too, so you'll have those two heroes jumping in. But Carstensz, they're saying that with their lasso and the Burning Barrage, they should be able to take Roar down. Whose draft do you favor here and why?
In terms of counter and synergy matchup, I maybe slightly flavor to Raw Gaming, and because of like how strong is their hero. They have Centaur and Arba. It's not that easy to take down, and they have the Stampede to reset a team fight against the Doom. And then they have Arba, which is pretty hard to kill. And the one condition to kill him is to use the Doom ulti, but it's not always that easy to do that because there's a Phoenix to protect the team fight formation. And beside Lasso and Doom, they don't have a really a good counter to Storm Spirit. It's not that easy to always get a Doom or the Lasso off on the Storm Spirit. They need Dagger, or they need some good positioning with the smoke ploy in order to get the spell off on the hero. So the execution side, I feel like Raw Gaming lineup is easier to execute, and their landing also, I do feel like they have a decent landing, some teamfight potential with the egg from Phoenix. So that's why I prefer the Raw Gaming draft a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Normally, you want to have some kind of a setup. Sure, the Bad Lasso itself is a setup, but because you don't exactly have anyone that can go in and stun, when you go in through the Bat Rider, you're either going to make it work out, get a good lasso off, but if you can't, you're probably just going to get countered out, just counter-initiated upon, and probably just brought down. So it will be risky initiations from the side of Carstensz, and easier initiations, like you mentioned. Storm can just zap in and out. Unlike the Queen of Pain, he has the opportunity to initiate and disengage at will, and it's difficult to catch him. So this is going to be, I believe, a bit of a game of just playing whack-a-mole here from Carstensz's side.
Yeah. Execution is pretty important in Dota 2. Picking right hero, picking a good hero doesn't mean we're gonna win the game, but also need to press the button at the right time, at the right place. And for Carstensz, the requirement of good execution is a bit higher. They need to click the button faster, quicker, in order to have the advantage in the team fight in the game. But for Raw Gaming, they can just run around with their hero. Zip in, zip out. They have Stampede, they have Wind Run, they have most of their heroes, they have some escape or survivability. So it's pretty easy to play on the Radiant side.
Carstensz already, or rather, no, it's Roar who have already found a D-Ward. Now, it will be 2 and 2 bounty runes each, but still a slightly, a slight advantage towards that Radiant side. Just simply having that extra vision over on that mid lane is certainly going to help out that Storm Spirit, because, quite frankly, the mid lane is supposed to be Carstensz favored, the Queen of Pain versus the Storm Spirit matchup. Do you think the Queen of Pain, Mamang Daya, is going to max out his Shadow Strike, or is this one of the Scream of Pain builds?
Ever since they added the facet to Storm Spirit, the static slide facet, I feel like this facet totally changed the hero in terms of landing phase, because allowed the random to move in to secure the last hit, like how he did here. And I feel like because of this, he can just farm and get all the CS with that spell and make it easier for this hero to lane. And even he have a real rough laning matchup. Let's say he's against a Huskar, a harder matchup. he can always go jungle once he hit like level 3 or level 4 by maxing out the random. He still farm really fast, he still recover really well in the jungle, and on top of the meta now with the Guidance Grave, I feel like this is one of the reasons why Storm is getting picked more and more in this patch.
Yeah, we also are saying farewell to one of the best Stormser players in the world, right? Enigma Galaxy parting ways with Sumail just yesterday. That's it got me down a bit, but I am curious to see where Sumail is going to be playing next, because I don't think he's gonna retire. He shouldn't. He's still doing well in his career. Jokum might go down. He will. Lloyd will actually grab up first blood. A very easy dive play coming in by Roar Gaming. It really seemed like they didn't have to put in much effort to be able to get that kill.
Yeah, that's a level 2 power spike from Roar Gaming, Phoenix and Ava. They hit level 2 before the Marcy. Even Marcy, he did skill up the first spell, but it's not enough to survive. You need a rebound in order to jump away, but only one level to have the second skill point.
Dreamosel went down towards that top lane, so I mean, if he stayed alive for just about 10 or 20 more seconds, Carstensz would have ended up with the first blood. Or rather, Roar would have ended up with the first blood. Actually, I'm out of my mind. Roar ended up with both of those kills. I thought it was a return kill, but it's quite frankly, this is going to be a return kill. Dreamosel will be able to take out the Centaur, so they're doing pretty well now. And you want at least one out of your side lanes to work out if you're Carstensz here.
Yeah, during the draft, the direction for the drafter is to at least win 2 lanes in the game. Like winning 2 lanes is the minimum goal. That's the main objective in the drafting. But now it doesn't look like the side lane is doing great for.
Windranger is Clove dead? Oh no, Clove is able to throw out that great shackle shot. Actually catches Hardell. It's difficult to chase the Windranger there because across the bridge, when you throw out a shackle shot, you're guaranteed to land a stun. There's just too many trees around there, and it's one direction you can move. It's a bridge. That's definitely interesting.
He has 8 Majestic charges, so it's gonna be fine. Still holding the 8-1 charges.
I wonder how they plan on playing this laning phase, because quite frankly, the lack of stuns is going to hurt them from initiating upon Roar. But maybe with Saime's Scorched Earth and, you know, the rebound coming in from Jokum, they can eventually make a play. It's just going to be very risky going into that Abaddon and into that Phoenix with so much sustain coming out from Roar's side. I mean, you have that Aphotic Shield, you have that dive as well as that Sunray. So how exactly is Carstensz supposed to get that opportunity?
For this lane, for Doom off lane, I don't think he need to play for the kill. Just need to play for the farm and get the levels, generate more gold with the Devour, and I feel like that's the direction for Sammy this game. And I like how he building the meta Tranquil Boot now. He's doing the trick December and combine to get the free regen. They're gonna do the kill attempt, but good try, the rebound. But it's okay, I don't think they need to make any kill here. Just need to get Doom higher level and farm. And Doom skill really well into the late game, into the later game. He generate a lot of gold with the first spell, and he also buy Midas sometime.
Do you think he should be going for a Midas this game? Is this one of those games where you can't afford to go for the Midas? Because you don't have the Devil's Greed facet anymore, so the Doom, when he had that, would farm up really fast. Not to mention the Midas itself has been nerfed, so it is still a viable item.
I think it's always good on the Doom because he want higher level for his innate to work. And I will always buy Midas on Doom, but not right now. I can see the meta, the pro player, especially the D3, the Tundra offlane player, they don't go for the Midas build anymore. Maybe they'll still go for it, but after 1 or 2 items, like maybe after the boost of Bearing, and then they'll go back for the Midas because they want to be active in the mid and early game. We'll see.
Oh, Valdane, again, another dive. They want to get Jokum out. He manages to survive, but they do dish out a bit of pressure onto her Saime. 2 entire creep waves for Kismet to take out. for Roar, this laning phase is going super well, but Dreamocell is at the very top of the last hit chart, so Carstensz do have something going their way. Overall, I think a pretty much even laning phase apart from the kills that Roar have been able to acquire. And is this going to be something that is going to be a pattern from Carstensz, or are they just going to play it safe and just continue to farm up? Oh, guess what?
Oh, bottom. They're going on Doom.
He has to get back. No stick charges on him. It's actually going to be Gamng who will be able to take out that Phoenix towards that mid side. Good rotation coming out by Jokum.
Yeah. I think it's not the best idea kill. I didn't want to use it for the Storm to get the most value kill, but Storm was jungling and he gave a lane over to Phoenix. And I feel like that's according to the plan for Raw Gaming. They want the Storm to get level 6 in the jungle and not getting killed by the Sonic Wave, and let the support to tank the mid lane pressure and also get some farm. And now he tanked the Sonic Wave. That's even better for the Storm Spirit. That's why we can see him going back to the lane now, getting this extra wave. So even Phoenix die right there, but I feel like that's a good death for Raw Gaming.
It's also difficult to take the Storm out, right? He has the infused raindrop, so that Scream of Pain damage is going to be absorbed by that. You only have that Sonic Wave, and that's perhaps not enough to take out a full HP Storm. As Butterfly Effect is playing this laning phase very well, just continuing to farm up. He doesn't want to apply pressure. He just wants to farm because he knows, or perhaps recognizes, the limitations of a Storm Spirit pick versus the Queen of Pain. He knows he'll be stronger than the Queen of Pain eventually, but as of right now, he recognizes that he is the weaker mid lane hero.
Yeah, according to the net worth ranking right now, Storm is the lowest net worth hero in terms of among all the core, but I think he's currently having 0 death and he will recover in the jungle. And if we get a good power rune here, maybe he can make a rotation.
Lloyd,
that's one of the best runes.
Yeah, unfortunately, Butterfly Effect was not nearby. He'll make a play on towards Jokum and they'll be able to take him out with that power shot. So again, good rotation coming out, but not too big of a loss. It is just a support. It's still slightly shaky from the side of Carstensz, them losing their heroes this early on. I mean, you take a look at the Batrider, he's trying to focus down that Centaur, trying to get that Stampede out of him, but he never really went for it. Position 3, holding it. Very super close. I mean, he has a helm of the Dominator, but still, certainly playing to his limits there.
Yeah, Double H cannot suicide. I cannot deny himself anymore. Ooh, another Sonic Wave.
That is another kill. This time around, it's an entire solo kill from Gamng, so he seems to be off to a great start on this mid side. What do you think the Queen of Pain is going to go for with all of this, gold in that piggy bank?
The previous meta with this bondage facet, they will go for the Blade Mill, but I can see the meta switch a little bit. POP they buy the Kaya first instead of the Blade Mill anymore, and I guess I can still go for the Kaya build and then just buy the casual item as Kaya Sage into like Scepter and play for the long fight for the damage output.
Hardell is going to get sniped out towards that top side. So again, return kills for Roar Gaming. They've brought Kismet over here. They want to apply pressure on this tier 1 tower. The question is Carstensz going to trade? And it does seem like they will. Dreamocell will be able to take out that bot lane tier 1. So it will be a tower trade at the end of the day. Rather, no. Carstensz, they're teleporting their heroes in. Hardell as well as Jokum is here, but they need a core. I mean, Dreamocell also comes in through the gate. They use that flame break, but Dreamocell, he's not exactly playing a very tanky hero. He is going to reveal himself, and it seems like Roar Gaming, they will decide to go back. But now they'll decide to go in. Stampede is going to be activated. They will counter Initiate on top of Hardell, take him out, and with Butterfly Effect joining the team fight, it will seem that the Clinkz is going to be in massive trouble. Dreamocell tries to make his way out. Lloyd dives in, but it's unable to catch that Clinkz. They will still be able to catch that Centaur, and in fact, Clove got the Clinkz down with that power shot, so a trade overall. An off-lane hero lost, but it's still not over. Gamng is going to be Vortex down. The pick-me-up facet coming in from Jokum will enable Gamng to disengage at the cost of Jokum's life. And overall, 3 or maybe 2 for 1 exchange. 3 for 1, in fact. Oh, no.
Oh, that power shot.
That power shot. Oh, that's a 4 for 1. That makes it completely one-sided in favor of Roar Gaming. They'll even find the tower regardless. That is not good.
I can see the reason why they want to defend the tier 1 tower, because they have the time, and the tower is a bit healthy. I mean, they'll have the time to TP down and set up for the fight. It's a good decision. But they need to also read the fighting potential, the team fight potential. Because Radiant, they have really strong fighting abilities with all the ultis. The Stampede, the Supernova, and Phoenix wasn't 6 just now, but they also need to give respect to the Phoenix, because the Fire Spirit is still a very strong ability, and if they don't take care of the Phoenix first at the start of the fight, I don't see a way for them to kill any hero. They only use the Doom to get only 1 kill, but beside from that, I don't think they're able to kill anyone. So they need to think twice if they want to take a fight like that just now. Especially if you want to play for the defense positioning, they need to be there earlier, because all the Radiant hero might be there already set up for the tower kill. And they need to be more careful next time if they want to defend a tower like that. They also have a slow tempo hero. Like Klings and Doom, they need more item. They can just trade farm. They will generate more gold over the time. They don't have to rush. They have to go for all this kind of risky play just now.
I mean, they do have the Boots of Bearing on the Doom. Yeah. They almost have the Desolator for Dreamosel. That's going to be a big power spike for him. He'll still need that Burning Barrage before he's able to fight. And Mamang Daya, he still doesn't have his first item. So the Queen of Pain may have some really good spells for the early game, but you definitely want to have farm on that Queen of Pain before you're able to come in with that impact.
Yeah, we're looking at all 3 core now on Carstensz. Like all 3 core, they need farm, they need item. And they farm pretty well with the hero. Like Doom generate a lot of gold, and Klings, like you mentioned, need the shot, the Burning Barrage, in order to be strong to flash farm, to push out wave. And same for Queen, he's going for the Kaya build. Kaya is not like a really good early fighting item. It's more like a I would say a Midas for mage hero, for intel hero, because the item only give you like some mana regen amplification and some spell amp, and it's not the best item in terms of fighting, but it's gonna help him to like generate more farm because he get to use more mana. So the item is kind of like a fighting item to me. Oh, bottom.
Stampede has been committed. There's that Doom coming out as well, but Carstensz, clearly they are outmatched in this team fight, but it will be Dreamosel who's able to fight back. Clove is also going to die. An overall 3 for 2, and that actually makes this entirely worth it for Carstensz. I mean, sure, they lost their offlaner, but their carry now is going to propel himself towards that top of the net worth chart by quite the margin. I mean, Dreamosel just holding his position there, Gamng, he was able to be the difference maker.
Yeah, and that's the power of Gamng, is if he left untouched, he's one of the highest damage range hitter, like one of the best range at carry hero if he hold his ground. And +4 now. That's all charges on his after the last fight. Now he's also speed up his shot timing. He's almost have the money for the he already has it for the money for the shot. That's a pretty good fight for Dreamosel.
He could also go for the Dragonlance because I'm sure he wasn't expecting the goal for the shard to be available this early on as soon as he gets his Desolator. But still good to have those early Desolator stacks, right? A lot of people, at least me personally, I seem to think that the Desolator is similar to the Blink Dagger, where once you do have it, you need to get some momentum going in order to make it work out, because the Desolator base damage is still pretty low. They will initiate upon that Centaur though with that rebound. They certainly pack in a punch now with their lineup.
Yeah, that's a very good pick-off. And one of the strengths of Klings, they get to move around of the map really fast. And they utilize the high mobility to pick up a good kill on Centaur, who has no any proper big item yet. He bought the Hand of Dominator, but he haven't completed the Crimson or the Pipe, so he's still kind of vulnerable. He's still pretty low on armor. Radiance online for Abba. Storm Spirit. It's going for the Soaring Kaya build. Okay, the standard Storm Spirit build instead of the Garden Grave. Oh, shackle.
Gamng did not get shackled down, but they do have that vortex. Unfortunately, can't really hold Gamng. They really do need that shackle. But by being able to push Gamng out, he is so low on his HP, they can't really defend this tower, so Roar Gaming will still achieve their objective.
Yeah, it's a really good movement still for Roar Gaming. Even they didn't get the kill, they get a tier 1 tower, they get bigger map control now, and Arcane Rune on Butterfly Effect. They're gonna make another pick off here.
Oh, Jokum?
Oh.
He is in a bit of a bind. I mean, this should just be a dead Marcy, but it is just a support. The real targets are moving towards Carstensz. It is Kismet with that Radiance. They find that Shackle Shot. At the end of the day, it is going to be both the support duo from Carstensz taken out. Roar Gaming, they are willing to fight back, and with this Radiance up, I think they have plenty of damage. The only problem is they don't have any burst damage.
Yeah, they don't have really good burst damage right now, and only maybe the power shot, the Q shot. It's a pretty good nuke for Roar Gaming. It's a 470 magical nuke with the Q shot facet, the extra 5% execute threshold. And they have some damage output here from Roar Gaming, and they also don't mind to take the long fight with the Arba and Phoenix. So they have a lot of fighting potential on the Radiant side, and I don't think Dreamer Cell want to fight into 5-man right now, even with this smoke play. They want to go for only 1 or 2 pick off with the Doom or Lasso and catch 1 or 2 big kill and then go back to farm. And right here, I like this movement from Carstensz going into the Radiant side.
But they don't seem to have a Blink Dagger. They'll still be able to get that rebound jump. Doom in massive amounts of trouble, thrown back by that Sonic Wave, and should be getting brought down, but Carstensz, they don't have enough damage. No. They're going to be returned upon. Instead, Doom will still go down, but there will still be some punishment coming in. The power shot from Clove caught both of Carstensz. They will lose their Queen of Pain, they will lose their Bat Rider, and even Butterfly Effect, he wants to go in, but has no more mana up, needs to be careful of Dreamocell, who's holding that position. Still, though, that borrowed time will keep Kismet safe. I mean, that power shot from the Wind Ranger Gamng, catching both of them up. Carstensz lined themselves up for that shot.
Perfect angle for the 2-man power shot, and also like somehow I can see the Radiant, I mean the Dire hero, they stuck at the very bad corner on the edge, on the high ground or something, and they couldn't walk away and line up that 2-man power shot for Wind Ranger. That was perfect. And also we can see just now the long fight potential for Roar Gaming. They did cast the Doom on one of the best target to stop the Centaur from using the Stampede. But the shield come in from Arba, keeping him alive a bit longer, forcing the Queen to blink in. And here another support pick off, doesn't matter. And because of the Aphrodite shield just now from Arba, making the Queen commit for the Centaur, making him another kill.
Another kill, however, this time around, Dreamocell, he might have been able to take out that Centaur, but this is not going to be worth it. He gives yet another life away. It is towards Clove, so you don't get the most amount of gold out of this, but a lot of Galvanite charges up for Butterfly Effect. I mean, he's on 13 right now.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, he's about to complete the SNK. Same way, pretty free game. Even start with the lowest core net worth, but now it's top 4 higher than the QOP now. And Butterfly Effect is definitely back into the game. I wonder what's the next item here for him.
Maybe there's the Witchblade, right? It's just constantly amp up your damage output. You certainly do have enough saves, and with the lack of the stuns from Carstensz, it doesn't really seem like they should be able to control that storm unless they started off with that Doom. Hardell was looking for that lasso, but again, there isn't really any follow-up available on this position, and this is the problem for Carstensz. I think Gamng, without their clinks, they don't have follow-up for these fights.
Yeah. It's a good attempt from Hardell, trying to go for the lasso on Storm Spirit. That's a good target. But he didn't manage to get a spell off. Maybe because of the ping issue. Oh, another smoke play. If they can get Storm Spirit here, it would be great. Let's see.
Butterfly Effect, though, he will zap back and they will hide themselves in that smoke of the seed. However, They're still coming in with that chase, and Hardo will be able to catch that storm. Butterfly effect taken out very early on in the fight means that the rest of Roar, they do have to get back. Moss teleports coming in to try and disengage, and they will be successful, at least for the rest of their heroes. Centaur couldn't make it through the gate though. He did not have a teleport and is going to be the second casualty for Carstensz. They can transition this into a Tormentor too, so a very good timing for them.
Yeah, just nice. Raw Gaming lead all the custom hero to the Tormentor. After that kill, they're gonna get another 1.4k gold net worth. Oh, not the best shot, but that's fine. And after that pick off, Storm Spirit changes quick buy to the Lincoln Spear. Realize that he needs to deal with the Doom or the Lasso first in order to survive and not getting burst at the start of the fight. I like the itemization from Butterfly. Lincoln Spear is just a good item, making his life way easier here in this game.
But don't you think the Lincoln Sphere this early, you know, having queued it up, it's a relatively expensive item at this stage of the game. It's going to mean that Butterfly Effect is going to trade in or sacrifice a lot of his damage output for it?
Yeah, that's why I asked the question, because you are a Storm Spirit player, so maybe you have the better perspective from this game now. Because Storm Spirit do need the Lincoln Spear, but also Witchblade feels really good on him. He can, if he found the opening, he can just zip in and solo kill the Barrier first before he used the Lasso. It's like that's two-way to approach now for the Storm Spirit. Lincoln or maybe the more damage.
I would imagine in this kind of a game, when you have a strong Dispel like the Abaddon, a Blink Dagger on the Abaddon would be better than the Lincoln Sphere on Butterfly Effect, because if it's a team fight, right, Butterfly Effects get jumped with a Lasso. If your Abaddon is nearby, he can blink and dispel away the Lasso. However, now they'll make a play on Mamang Daya. Clove, easy shackle shot for him.
Wow.
Mamang Daya will be going down, and it's actually somehow Gamng is a Wind Ranger ending up with all of these kills. I mean, Clove is 8, 1, and 7 right now.
Yeah, that's the top, maybe not. Okay, that's the power of a kill shot facet. I feel like this kill shot facet is pretty underrated. And if you give this hero to a right player who can always land his skill shot, a shackle, the power shot, it looks like one of the best hero. I remember there's a time when Seb is playing Wind Ranger in a tournament as a stand-in or something, and then he just picked the hero every game, and then he just win the tournament. And Wind Ranger is a really good hero if the player can always hit all the skill shot, because all the spell, like all the numbers on the first two on Wind Ranger is pretty high. The damage on power shot is pretty high. The stun duration on shackle shot is pretty high. And if you hit all the spell, it can look like a OP hero.
Carstensz, for the first time in this game, have the lead in their advantage. They're also setting up towards that jungle. I mean, right now, you take a look at Dreamocel's damage output. Gamng, Chrysalis, Burning Barrage, 10 stack to the Desolator. This is a Clinkz that will hit hard. So for Roar Gaming, sure, they have the easier execution like you pointed out, but it also needs to be a very convincing execution, because anything that goes wrong means that Dreamocel will dish out 1,000, 2,000 damage in less than 2 seconds, and you may not be in a position to continue that fight. And it will seem that Carstensz will be able to acquire an Aegis free of cost. And now with this Aegis, probably will look towards taking some map control.
Yeah, absolutely. They will try to take down the bottom area. Already some line draw on the minimap by Dreamocel. They want to take control of this part of the jungle. They also have good observable setup in this area, and they decide to give up the top area, and that's the right play now. And that's how the pro player control the map, give up the top area if they play as Dire, and take the Raiden's bottom area. And Clinkz is a really good sieging hero with this Aegis on him. They can even go for the high ground attempt just to force some reaction, just to force some hero TP back to the base. And they're looking really strong right now. Doom has all the item, burying the pipe, and they have blink on Bat Rider, and Glimmer Kit on Jokam. He is going for the blink, so they have all the right item. maybe they can make something happen. Lasso pick off bottom on Lloyd.
Yeah, the Phoenix is trying to cut the wave. Lloyd will not be successful in being able to cut the wave. Interesting choice to go for the wave cut on the Phoenix there. I don't I don't see high odds for the Phoenix making it out if he does get caught. Storm Spirit, you can at least jump away, and especially when you just do get to that linkage. So I do think that that is one of the, you know, good value, the good value that you get from a pickup like that is that you can split push the map easily. Someone jumps on you, you get your Lincoln Sphere popped, you instantly zap away.
Yeah, that for Phoenix is playing the sacrificial role here. Aloy is doing a really good job playing as the suicide position 5. I think he went down there to die, maybe just to get more time for butterfly effect to finish his Lincoln Spear. It's really close to the ultimate op, less than 200 gold away to complete the item, and maybe also that's why they're not playing any aggressive move. They're waiting for the next big item.
It's an interesting perspective, Gamng. Icarus, you know, in mythology, we don't ever consider the possibility that maybe Icarus wanted to fly close to the sun. You know, so they're looking for some kind of a play. I mean, they do see these heroes. Stampede was activated, but the Centaur was grabbed up. Dreamocell will be able to Hurricane Pike himself away, and there is a bit of a separation in this team fight. However, there are these two big ultimates now used up. One of the only sources for Carstensz to initiate is not going to be available.
Yeah, it looks really good at the start. He used the Lasso during the Stampede, so he countered most of the Stampede duration, but they are not able to burst out the Centaur, who has a Pike and Crimson Guard, and also the healing from the Phoenix, keeping Centaur alive. So they used one of the big spells, the Lasso, for this Centaur, and not able to kill him. But they also trade something, like they traded Stampede for this one. But again, the Storm Spirit is getting all the farm on the top area just now. And here we're gonna see Carstensz closing the map on the top area, trying to fight the Storm Spirit, but also Raw Gaming, they're trying to connect to the Storm with this smoke play. And they found an opening.
They did find an opening. Gamng going to get shackle shotted and will be brought down. It's going to be a butterfly effect with an amplified damage rune. Gamng was underneath an observer ward, so not really too sure of Carstensz here, but they do have an Aegis. They are going to be able to fight back. However, their Aegis is just going to get popped. Lloyd with a great egg towards that backline will disable the escape, and Dreamocell has no BKB, has no way out. That is going to be 3 big kills coming out for the side of Roar, as they will be the ones to successfully fight back.
Yeah, the fight started with QOP die first, and it looks pretty awkward that like Carstensz Esports still want to take that fight on their high ground. Maybe they're trying to protect the Klings, who has 2 life, and they are not able to like let the Klings escape, and that's why they die together with him. And I can also, like, after that kill on the Queen, the Egg totally isolated the Doom at the backline. He couldn't found this opening to jump in to look for the good Doom target. I think even he did. I doubt that he can kill anyone with the Doom. So that fight, it looks pretty one-sided for Raw Gaming. And here, trying to make a play on the high ground.
Sonic Wave does get thrown out, and so does the Doom. So Kismet is in massive amounts of trouble. Saimi is going to be saved despite that counter initiation, but the Abaddon is just going to be able to blink away. And that means that it's going to be the Centaur that is going to be the secondary target. They should be able to bring him down, but they really wanted that Abaddon, Gamng. Him getting out is going to be a loss to Carstensz.
He survived with 2-digit HP, and now they use the Doom. It's a long cooldown ability, but they couldn't get the best value kill target. And yeah, they hold the high ground, they kill the Centaur, but I feel like that fight could be better.
Do you think the net worth is just 1,000 in favor of Carstensz? But with the way that Roar are playing, just how much map control they're able to acquire, the fact that these team fights are so much easier for them, do you think that the net worth suggests that this game is even, or do you think this game is in favor of one team in particular as it stands?
So we have Doom, Midas, and Devour. So he basically have one item and one spell that is not gonna help him to fight. So there's a lot of net worth that kind of looks like how to put it. Maybe because of the Devour and what?
redundant. Like there's
Yeah.
even the blink dagger, right? If he doesn't have the doom, he's not gonna be blinking in. So a lot of his items are just kind of useless right now for the
Yeah.
duration he doesn't have the doom.
Yeah, so he has two, like one spell and one item that is not gonna help him to fight at all. So even having, they're supposed to have the net worth advantage on Carstensz Esports just because they have the Doom, Devour, and Midas. And having only like less than 1k or 1k net worth lead is not good for Carstensz. And as the game go longer, it's gonna be harder for them to deal with the Storm Spirit and the Arba later. So they have Lincoln Spear, they have more item now on Storm Spirit, and they can itemize against the Lasso, against the Doom. So as the game goes longer, I feel like it might be harder for Carstensz Esports. But also like Carstensz Esports, their hero, their farm really well. Kling's having pretty high net worth right now, despite having 4 death. And Kismet has 0 death, but he only has less than 1,000 gold advantage over the other carry. So Dire hero, they skill really well. They have really good skilling farming hero. But they need to execute a good team fight in order to generate more advantage. Need to use their net worth advantage to win some fight.
Now they do have the Daedalus on Dream of Cell Yuheng. He's going for that BKB. I think when he does have that BKB, he can potentially survive. But it's always risky because it against the Wind Ranger, you know, he is just a support. But the Shackle Shot is such a long duration of a stun. I mean, 3.25 seconds. And even at that level 20, you get that plus 0.75 seconds. So it's a 4-second stun that you have at that level 20 mark. If you get hit by the Shackle Shot first, your BKB is going to be pretty much pointless.
Absolutely. And right now, look at this 6-slot Kling's item, he don't have any real defensive item. Only the Hurricane Pipe. But without the BKB, without any like proper save on the support, he can only dish out damage. And hopefully, if he don't get focus in the team fight, then that's the way for him to dish out damage. But if you get focus, like you say, the Shackle or everything follow up, Kling's can get burst down at the start of the fight. So they have to be careful for Carstensz. Need to keep the Kling's alive in the team fight and not let him to get burst down first. Because he's the main damage right now for them.
Lloyd is going for a Hex on the Phoenix.
Ooh, I like
it. Do you like this more than you like the Shivas on the Phoenix?
Shiva can be purchased by the Storm, and Shiva like also can be a good item too for the Phoenix. But I like the Hex more. The Hex is if you can just dive in and then hex someone, that can be another good way to initiate the fight.
Not to mention, it's a really good follow-up spell to have, item spell to have. Again, when you have that 4-second Shackle Shot from the Wind Ranger, you throw in a Hex on top of that, just disable the Links from being able to use his BKB, or even Mamang Daya, because when the Storm Spirit has a Lincoln Sphere, the Queen of Pain doesn't have that BKB either. So these cores do seem pretty vulnerable. Shut down his PC.
Oh. Need to top up his his credit in CC.
Oh, what is that? Like a gaming zone?
Oh wait, I think he shut down his PC in CC. I think CC means
Cyber
LAN Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, then you top out his PC. Our credit.
Or cyber cafes or gaming zones, because I remember in my country, gaming zones used to be a big deal back in the day. They've turned, it's gone down in popularity, but I think Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, they've always been big on the gaming zone culture. Does that culture, is it still massive today?
Used to be more LAN cafe in Malaysia, but after the COVID, most of the LAN cafe closed down. Only maybe a few left. It's getting lesser and lesser now because everyone, like most of the kids, they play on their phone. They don't play. They don't go to the LAN cafe anymore. They play the mobile game.
Yeah, it really seems like. I mean, to be fair, a game in the gaming zone, in COVID, it will be such a hazard on your health since you're going to be shoulder's length from each other. You know, just five people sitting at it.
Oh, I miss the
Would
old
be
days. Miss the old days.
yeah, would be quite the hotspot for COVID. But um, interesting, right? I wonder if they're
Mhm.
all in the gaming zone or if it's just the one. Because Lloyd is the only Malaysian player from Roar
Mhm.
Gaming. The rest of them are from
Yep.
China. But that could also mean that Lloyd is in China with them. So I'm not exactly too sure.
Good question. We just celebrate Chinese New Year here in Malaysia. I assume Law is still in Malaysia because he want to be with his family. And also maybe Raw Gaming, they don't have a boot camp. So that's why that about Kismet is playing in the LAN cafe without boot camp. Maybe like most of them is playing at their home or maybe at their own house. So high chance that maybe Law is still in Malaysia. Oh, no PC.
Well, I assume he'll have a PC. I mean, he should be just sitting on his
Yeah,
PC. Unless someone else has booked that PC and they'll be like, unfortunately, bro, that was all the time you had.
Just,
The one gaming zone that I go to sometimes, very few times to play Counter Strike with my friends. They have a
mhm.
system where if you're running out of time, you know they'll inform you and then remotely add in more time if the rest of the people you're with they have time too. So, for example, if you have half an hour, if you have like 5 minutes left, and your friends or your teammates they have like half an hour left, so they'll top it up automatically to that half an hour mark, so you won't, have an issue like this.
Oh, it's like an automatic thing. To have
Yeah.
to like go to the cashier counter to do this. So good. Here in Malaysia, like if we close to close to the like about when the credit about to run out, there was just like a beep 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 like a sound on the PC to alert the user, and then we have to walk to the counter to top up.
Who do you see winning this game, or rather having an advantage in this game going into this mid to late game transition where, quite frankly, there's not a
Mm.
lack of damage available on Carstensz. They have a lot of damage. I mean, that Sonic
Yeah,
Wave
yeah.
with that Aghanim Scepter up 2 from Among Daya, they'll have the BKBs on both their mid laner and their carry. So are they going to be ahead, or is it just the fact that it's so risky to get caught? If you get caught, you will die. Does that risk mean that they're going to have to constantly be treading on eggshells, that they might not be actually ahead in terms of map control?
Yep, it all has to come down to the clings right now because he's the one that holding the biggest damage in this game. He's the one that's gonna kill anyone with the Daedalus and all the light click damage. If he's not getting if he's not getting focus, I think there will be an easy team fight for Carstensz. They have some disable, they have some slow and control. So if they play around the clings really well, and it should be a pretty easy team fight for Carstensz. And she should be the main focus now for both sides. Daya need to keep him alive, or maybe like control, drag all the, and use the last sword to drag all the target close to the clings for him to dish out all the damage. And then for the raw gaming side, their main objective is to maybe kill the clings first, or maybe kill the Doom first before he gets the spell off. So both team they need to look at the clings, and his main focus now in this next 5 minutes. So yeah, 3 minutes. Okay.
A bit of an extended pause. I feel like
Yeah.
Roar will will end up having used all of their pause time at the end of this. Will extend a bit further into Carstensz's pause time. So hopefully, he'll top it off to the point where he can play the entire series. And not just this one game.
Yeah.
It's like, give me an hour, and then you realize you have to play an entire series. Oh, it goes to game number 3, and your PC is like, well, you're out of time again. They should have given him free time. I mean, you're a gaming zone that has a player playing in a tier 2 to tier 3 tournament. Might as well offer the player, or the entire team just free time to actually compete. Because I remember this was a thing back in gaming zones back in the day, right? If you're playing in a tournament, then you have those special booths available where it's just the 5 and no one else can enter. So you have the privacy for it too. So it's just makes it an interesting kind of environment to compete in. Because not a lot, like at the end of the day, a lot of these tier 2, tier 3 teams, right? They can't afford boot camps. Like they can't afford team houses like that where you just have your 5, you have a routine and everything. If you're a team that's still trying to make it, it's hard to have that kind of an environment or backing.
Maybe they can't afford the LAN cafe credit too. The LAN cafe. Sometimes some like you say, all those high-end LAN cafe, they have their own space, like the booth, the room. Where they can like having 5 players together without getting disturbed. Those LAN cafe, they also cost a lot more, I assume. And maybe they can't afford those also. And now he need to borrow some money from his friends in order to get his PC running. Maybe that's why it's not coming back or taking so long.
If you win the game, you can pay it back. If you don't win the game, then you're out of luck. Considering that I think Lunar Snake is the only tier 2 to tier 3 tournament circuit that hosts Chinese teams. I don't think EPL does or hasn't done in quite a long time. So it does seem like an opportunity that you don't want to miss out. But right now, the Abaddon, or rather, the Abaddon has not respawned. And surely you can't play 4v5 in this scenario. There's just no way you can play without your carry. Yeah. But no, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Kissman is back into the game. We'll resume. Let's see how much time he actually got on his PC. We will find out if there's a disconnect. But coming back into the game, Tormentor is going to respawn and should be going the way of Carstensz this time around. As Roar Gaming, they're not in position.
All 5 of the Carstensz hero, they are grouping out on the top side of the map, ready for the Tormentor, which is gonna spawn in 10 seconds. And meanwhile, Roar Gaming also doing a great job. We're looking at the minimap right now. Storm Spirit pushing bottom, Ava pushing mid, so they are getting something. They also know that Carstensz, they are heading to the Tormentor. So, Joe Camp's the one that got the shot.
Pretty good shot to have. The upgraded rebound, additional damage coming in. At the same time, like you mentioned, Storm Spirit, he's going for that Shiva's Guard. The Phoenix going for the Scythe of Vice instead. So both players, or rather both teams, are setting up pretty nicely. It's just barely a 1,000 net worth advantage. And at this point of the game, one singular team fight will decide which team actually comes out ahead. I can't really tell which one that will be. It just, I think, depends on the initiation, the initial jump. If it's the Batrider catching someone with the lasso or the Doom, then maybe you can have a good fight. At the same time, if it's the Storm Spirit going in, or if it's Clove finding a good shackle shot, like as he has time and time again, it's going to mean Roar come out ahead. So it's really just something that time will decide for us.
Yeah. Like Carstensz, they are running around here, trying to look for a pick off, and they found the Wind Ranger. It's not the best target, but they will take it.
I mean, that Wind Ranger Yuhang does give a 600 gold. I mean, it's an unstoppable streak on Clove. This is a very farmed up Wind Ranger.
Okay, and yeah, they will take that then. It's a high streak, Green Ranger, and his kill streak. That's worth quite a lot. And a bit unfortunate, Roshan is not spawning any time now. It's a 2 minute spawn time, long time. So they're not gonna get any objective after that Ranger pick off. Maybe they can try to apply more map pressure. And they are grouping up again. Let me take a look if there's any smoke left on Carstensz. They are currently running low or maybe out of smoke. I don't see any stock also in the shop. So they are maybe they can just wait for the next item for the clings. And looks like it's gonna be the scepter. Oh wow, I like it. Instead of going for the BKB, he go for the scepter. So he just want to hold his ground and fight. It also helps him to
Isn't
like.
it too risky though, like him not going for the BKB? Or is it just the idea that he knows if he gets caught, he's dead? So might as well double down on having overwhelming damage. At the same time, it's towards that mid side, Gamng Daya will be sniped out. Butterfly effect coming in with a long range zap and actually will go on further. It's going to be Sai Mei with that Glimmer Cape, but Kismet wants to chase. I do not think they can chase towards that high ground though, so it will just be that one kill. However, they got a glimpse of Dreamosel, and you do have that storm teleporting in. Now the rest of Roar Gaming, they're also trying to make their way towards that Klings. There's a sentry ward, but it's one that Gamng Daya has, or rather Dreamosel has. But now that he took out the Klings, or Wind Ranger, he has revealed his position, and Dreamosel will be taken out. And not exactly a worth it kill this time around on the Wind Ranger, Yuheng.
Yeah, but we can see the damage output from Klings is insane. Just use all the spell on the Wind Ranger, just burst him down in less than 1 second. But that's a risky play. Yeah, that's a really risky play. And I think he should know that there might be some hero behind the Wind Ranger, and he thought that maybe he would be able to survive after that pick off. But now, like, after the Wind Ranger kill, giving his life, they also give this Roshan to Raw Gaming. That might be one of the game-losing mistake that made by Dreamosel. It's like a very amateur pub player kind of mistake.
I mean, giving up Roshan is definitely, at this point of the game, a big blunder.
Yeah.
I would imagine you want to cut your losses after Gamng Daya goes down, but it's going to be a hard-learned lesson for Carstensz's side, as they're now going to get picked off from the entire map. I mean, with that Aegis of a safety net for the Storm, he can continue to play risky. Butterfly effect, level 23, has the Shiva's Guard as well as a Lincoln Sphere for that added protection, and that just means it's so difficult to initiate upon the Storm. I mean, you're already very limited in your disables. You only have the Doom and that Lasso, and now you need to perhaps pop the Lincolns first in order to initiate probably a very difficult requirement to get done.
Yeah, they gave the Aegis to Raw. They also gave one of the Aegis to one of the best Aegis holder, which is the Storm Spirit. And now I feel like the Raw Gaming, they can just march to the high ground. They have Abba with Borrow Time, has 2 life, and Storm Spirit with 2 life. So they have everything they need. And they also have Blink on Centaur, which he also about to complete the Scepter. So they have the save, they have 2 life on both of their core. They have everything they need. They have all the requirement now to go for the high ground push. So for the next 1 minute, maybe Raw Gaming, they can just walk up to the high ground. Maybe push on the bottom end with 2 Siege Creep going in.
Butterfly effect does zap in, and they actually catch the Mercy. It is going to be a long-range power shot coming in. Jokum will go down. That was always a kill destined for Roar. I mean, the way I see it, Yuheng, every single time the Storm Spirit initiates in and you have a team with you, that should be a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, there's no save on the Dire side, on Carstensz. So basically, any jump, any pick off, any stun will equal to a kill. And not right now, they still will wait for Butterfly mana, the Storm Spirit mana, to regen up a little bit. They also need to kite the Burning Army from the Klings for the Skeleton to wear off. So now they're good to go again. Storm Spirit back to decent mana pool. Oh wait, Centaur actually TP top. Okay, let's see.
Butterfly effect almost got grabbed up, but
yeah,
no lasso available for the Batrider, unfortunately. So him going in with the Firefly is kind of feels very underwhelming when you think about it.
Oh, the foul pick off in the triangle.
Yeah, he's about to be overwhelmed. I mean, these are just very easy pickoffs. Kismet with that Assault Quartz as well as that Bloodthorn, the amount of damage he's able to dish out with that Soulburn duration, within that Soulburn duration, is just simply too much. And it will be the Storm jumping in, but still, they don't have the rest of their lineup. The Phoenix is still not here. Lloyd is coming in with the Side of Vice. It's on his courier, and this barracks does seem to be falling. It's going to be Gamng who throw that Sonic Wave, and they've actually found Saimei though on the other side. It's that Workhorse coming in, keeping that Storm Spirit safe. He also still has that Aegis. And they were able to take apart the range barracks, so it's only the melee barracks left standing.
BO3 is on cooldown, but there's no Doom for 50 seconds. Let's see, maybe they want to force the Doom buyback and then back after that. But they committed the banner for this one. And that's the first Hex reveal.
Gamng goes down, did not see that Hex coming in. Dreamocell, no BKB available for this Klinks. It was a risk they took and it did not pay off. It is going to be Carstensz who will have to buy back on Gamng, but the question is, what can he get done? Butterfly Effect still has that Aegis.
Yeah. Without a Doom, I don't think they stand a chance to take a team fight. Also, Doom is really close to respawn, so he don't want to buy back for this fight. Also, like Kling's getting burst down first at the start of the fight, which means like Carstensz, they're not taking the fight. Oh, Lasso on the support.
Yeah, it's just on the support, but even the support Gamng is not going to die. So it just seems like it's a very... They're in that awkward spot where they pulled in everything towards their damage output, but quite frankly, their damage output is not enough.
Yeah, the Python Centaur keeping everyone alive, blocking most of the damage from the Queen Shadow Strike. And right now, Raw Gaming, they are 1 or 2 team fight away from winning this game. Storm Spirit hitting his level 25 power spike. Reach play, not just Reach play, the Parasma, the full Parasma complete too. Wow, they have all the...
And the Parasma and Shiva's Guard, they synergize very well together. You know, that decreased magical resistance for about 4 seconds from the Parasma, and the increased spell damage you take from the Shiva's Guard debuff. So it does seem like those two go hand in hand. That power shot that does 470 damage will now be probably doing close to like 600, 700.
Wow. Yeah, the damage amplification, Shiva and Parasma. I remember when it first came out, when Parasma and Shiva they first came out. A lot of players they try to like buy these two items together and then play with all those high nuke mage hero, and they combo with the spell M together. Oh,
Form. He is gonna jump in, but does get doomed up. He did not expect Saimei to have that Aghanim Scepter. Wow. That is going to be a big kill to be found, as there was no longer an Aegis up for the Storm Spirit, but Carstensz, they need to get more at the back of this one kill. They're gonna try chasing after that Centaur, will apply quite a bit of damage towards him, but will not be able to chase far enough. It will just be that one kill they'll get.
Okay, that's the first Aghanim Scepter reveal on Doom. Get one of the best kill with the AoE Doom that couldn't get blocked by the Lincoln Spear. That's a good one. That's one of the way for Doom to counter Lincoln hero. Just get the scepter, but he needs to run in to get on top of the target to apply the Doom constantly. Yeah, they think about to go on the Ranger.
Oh yeah, the Wind Ranger. I mean, but he does have that Lotus Orb as well as a Wind Run. Fortunately, will not be able to go far away, but Kisman, he is gonna join the fight, helping out his support, and in fact pushing back the rest of Carstensz. They have been isolated. It's actually Saimei now the one in trouble. Can't blink away, is going to be brought down. Now Clove does fall. The Storm Spirit, having come back into the game, is going at it against Dreamocell, should be able to take him out, while the rest of Roar, they wipe out Carstensz. Gamng is going to be shackled down by the Wind Ranger, and that is going to be an entire team wipe. It did require 2 buybacks coming in, but very well worth it for Roar, because right now they could just head on over and just end this first game.
Yeah, no Queen buyback for 4 minutes. So 80 seconds plus without the Queen. There's no Doom buyback too for 40 seconds. And should be GG. Kismet still has his ulti ready, and not sure how Carstensz gonna defend this one.
They have the lasso coming up in about 10 seconds. They have the Marcy online too, but no cores. Mamong Dio does not have a buyback like you mentioned. Doom doesn't have a buyback either. Primo Cell does, but without a BKB on that Lynx, you can't really expect to get much done. They'll start things off with the lasso, but instantly the spell comes in from that Abaddon, and that is going to be all she wrote. Saimei is going to call GG. Carstensz will drop the first game in this best of 3, and are now going to be down to the risk of elimination from Lunar Snake Trophy, as Roar, all they really have to do is get one more win, and they will proceed further to the lower bracket finals.
Yeah, and it looks like Kismet getting some money back for his LAN cafe money. Maybe after this game one, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully if they win the next one, Kismet's gonna at least break even the the LAN cafe credit money. And in this game number 1, the performance coming from Raw Gaming, they're pretty solid. And Kismet has 0 death on the R-bar. Pretty good performance here from them. And overall, I do feel like they are the better team. Very calm with their decision making and not making any overplay kind of move throughout the game. So, and for Carstensz, maybe they're a bit shaky. So I can see some initiation from the back rider wasn't on point, or maybe some disconnection for the player that wasn't on the same page during the team fight. And hopefully they fix some of that in the next game.
Yeah, I do think the Doom has a time and place, but the meta right now is defined towards those AoE offlane heroes that, you know, bring in value to team fights rather than singular pickoffs. And the Doom, while a really good ability, has so many counters to it, especially when you're picking it up in against just to be able to counter out that Abaddon. But what about the rest of the lineup? I do think that there still needs to be a bit of work done on Carstenz's draft. Just not having a unipolar or one way to play the game where you need to have multiple options open at the table. But let's see what the case will be. Let's see how far Carstensz will be able to go. They need to win the next game or they're going to be out of the tournament. Can they get it done against Roar Gaming? We will be off to a short break as we resume with Lunar Snake Trophy. So make sure to stay tuned to find out if Carstensz, if they're going to be staying or if they're going to be exiting.
mid lane to get a better matchup. And SF is great on the safe lane. I think most of the off-lane hero, they can't really beat Shadowfiend. But Carstensz has one of the best off-lane hero here, which is a Centaur, who can always do maybe 50-50 sometime in the in the lane because of the double H. This hero can like lane against most of the hero, especially with his level 2 power spike with 2 nuke ability. The stun into the double H, it dish out a lot of damage. Also, it costs no mana. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why Centaur getting picked a lot in this patch right now. And a good aura carrier too. Looking pretty good with this custom draft so far. Like you say, they put a lot of they get a lot of disable hero, Jack hero. I think almost all 4 hero of custom, they have a stun. They have some sort of disable. Disable is one of the high value spell in Dota 2.
Batrider gets banned out by Carstensz's side. They also ban out the Underlord. The question is, what offlane hero can Roar go for? They don't need stuns, but it would be nice to have them. I will say that perhaps having a pipe builder would be good on your side. I'm not sure who they can go for though.
Is Largo in the pool? Oh no, it got banned. A lot of good offlane hero got banned out. Mars is a pretty good pick here, but it got banned by themselves. Oh, okay. They go for the watermelon.
One of the only ones remaining still in the pool. Will be interesting to see what build he goes for, because a lot of Tidehunters in the meta do go for that Aghanim Scepter over the auras initially. I would personally like to see the auras come up first, depending on what Carstensz will go for as their last pick. This does seem like a pretty good Klink's game with this kind of a setup, but it's going to be a Mortha that actually comes out from their side. This is interesting considering you have a Shadow Fiend that will, or rather can, go for the magic damage build even on the carry position.
Yeah. And with this Mortar pick, just make it just make Tidehunters. I mean, just make a pipe. It's a must buy now for Raw Gaming on Tidehunters. It's a pretty good pipe game for Raw Gaming. Also, like you say, like they have some decent spell damage. At SF, he can go for the hybrid build, the Kaya Yasha into the Blink. It can still burst down the Mortar during his ulti form. Might not be the best carry pick by Carstensz, but I've seen Dreamer Cell plays it a lot in a previous patch. Also recently on his stream. So it's a pretty strong hero. It's a similar concept to Kling, just stand still, hold his ground, and he can dish out insane amount of damage. And this time, Carstensz Esports also has pretty good hero that could play around Mortar. They have good disable. They allow Mortar to finish the target. Shaman to counter the puck. And both sides have some pretty good draft, but maybe slightly flavored to Carstensz. What about you?
I would actually agree with you. I think Carstensz do have the better draft, easier executes. They have the zap ins and outs. As long as they don't get stuck in by that dream call, and as long as you don't have some lucky bashes coming in from Clove, I don't think Mamang Daya is going to get caught, unlike that previous game. So simply because of that Storm Spirit, I think Carstensz had the better draft. The carry pick is still something in my mind that may not work out for them, because I think Roar in that late game will be stronger. Just as Shadow Fiend being able to burst that Mortha down is always going to be a factor. It is very surprising that the Mortha got picked here. I mean, certainly, like you mentioned, a lot of offlaners were banned, but not a lot of carry heroes.
Yeah. That surprised me too with the Mortha pick.
But, I mean, let's see. At the end of the day, there's also the element of pressure that is going to exist for Carstensz. That's not going to be there for Roar Gaming, as they are currently up 1 game, and it's the lower bracket. So, you know, at the same time, you know, one thing to consider is that a lot of the players on Carstensz, they're kind of used to this high stakes scenario. I mean, you have Jokum from Talon Esports on the side of Carstensz, so I don't think the pressure is going to be as big of a factor.
Yeah, maybe they faced this kind of situation before. They are okay with high pressure.
We will see how this early game starts. As Carstensz on the Radiant side this time around. They're actually not going to plant down that early Observer Ward because it got dewarded last time. They'll actually just play it safe.
Yeah.
Trying to go for a wraparound inside of the opponent's jungle. They drop down the Observer Ward now. No really way to actually spot it out.
Butterfly is trying to check the ops. It's not. There's no ops on the Radiant side.
L did get revealed, so they did have an idea that quite a few players went towards that top lane. So the Observer Ward may be present in that location, but like you mentioned, Butterfly, if I tried to spot it out, couldn't really find that information. So Lloyd is not going to use his only sentry to essentially a gamble on whether the Observer Ward is there or not. So they'll just go back to the lane. Who do you favor in this Morta lane? I mean, you have the Jakiro by the Morta side. So ideally, against these two melee heroes, this should be a lane that Carstensz will win.
Yeah. Should be a pretty easy lane if Spirit Breaker don't pull a wave. But assume that he will pull the wave. So they don't play the lane and just drag the wave away. And Jakiro won't be able to get any kills. And Tidehunter is a pretty decent off lane that can do well in most of the situation. Even against like Jakiro and Morta, he can always recover from the jungle. Also, he has some wave clear and he can always cut the wave too. So in this lane, shouldn't be hard for Roy if Spirit Breaker know how to cut the wave, and which is gonna do it now. So looking okay for both sides. Jakiro's doing his job and trying to counter play by dragging the wave to the other side.
Creep waves are going to meet in the river. Clove does have those bashes, so Hardell needs to be a bit careful. But Hardell has the boost of speed that came in through the courier. Clove also has a boost of speed. Both of these two hard supports having a boost of speed. This is very interesting to actually see. And I suppose Hardell, he went for the boost of speed because he has that... Oh, it's Clove who's going to be brought back by that dash shot. That should just be first blood going the way of Dreamosel. Carstensz off to that head start.
Yeah, good play from Hardell. That's a good read from Hardell. He started the game with the bow of speed so that he could keep up the movement speed with Spirit Breaker. And because of that, he get a lot of free light click off on the Spirit Breaker. He won't get outspeed by the Spirit Breaker. Yeah, both teams have a very good idea how to play this lane. And it would be easier for Carstensz for sure because they are the stronger laner here.
Clove, he has a sentry ward. He wants to de-ward or rather block the camp again, but will not be able to quite just yet. Now does go for a wraparound, so drops down a sentry, barely off the mark though, so will not actually be able to catch it out. 50 gold going to waste, but it's not just a waste of gold. It's a waste of a lot of space in that lane where you want the lane momentum. Oh, that's gonna be fought hard for. But towards that mid side, it's the Puck who is doing a bit better than the Storm, but not by much. I think this is, again, one of those lanes where the Puck may have an early game advantage, but not enough or not as much as the Queen of Pain did. So the Mamangdaya should be doing pretty okay here.
Yeah, should be doing okay. I'm looking at the Spirit Breaker just now. He almost died to the Jakiro. He was like very low and one more spell combo away from dying. So he used like his 80% of his health just to drag this wave for Tidehunter. Yeah, and for the mid lane, Puck and Storm Spirit. So Puck has two nuke in the start of the game, start of the lane. So it's gonna be easier for him to secure last hit. And Mamandaya is doing not so bad too. He's a bit low on HP. Need to be more careful.
Does have the Fairy Fire as well as that Magic Stick. Unfortunately, because of how low he is, he's gonna miss out on all of these last hits. And Butterfly Effect, he was thinking about going in, but knows that Mamangdaya has those stick charges. So diving inside of the tower is gonna be very risky as Jokum falls towards that top side. Carstensz, they do lose the one, so it is a bit of a trade around those side lanes. And this top side, this is a lane where I think Roar are going to be ahead because you have a Centaur on the other side. Saime, even with the Retaliate, is that that's probably not going to deter the Shadow Fiend, because the majority of Shadow Fiend's damage towards that Centaur is always going to be those raises.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really hard lane for Carstensz, SF, and Phoenix. But these two heroes, they are really strong. And I don't think Centaur can do much. Also, Shaman is not a great hero to drag the wave. They might need to start doing that now in order for Sammy to have a decent lane. Because this lane might get harder when SF hit a higher level because of the Shadow Race. When he get like level 5 or 3 point on the Shadow Race, if he stack up like 2 or 3, I don't think Centaur can play the lane anymore. Now they are constantly playing with buying the regen to keep up with the HP, so they could play the wave. But this is gonna get harder.
Definitely going to be a bit of a task here, as it is a bit of a toss towards that on bot lane too. They find that Shackle, and Jakiro has rotated through the gate. But Kismet, he is going to be disabled from his teleport thanks to Jokum coming in with the Hex. That is going to be a dead Shadow Fiend, maybe even a dead Lloyd, but he will just dive out. At the same time, Clove is looking towards that mid side. They're going to initiate towards Gamng and will be able to take out that Storm. So a carry for a mid lane trade, not exactly too bad for Roar.
Yeah, really good play from Hard L with the Jakiro rotate to the top, and that's one of the way to break the lane by taking the Twin Gate, and with level 2 on Jakiro is enough to kill the asset. Very good play. Also, the wave is pushing into the center so that Jakiro can do that play.
Yeah, that's one of the weaknesses of the Shadow Fiend, right? Because of that presence of the Dark Lord, always going to have that lane pushed out.
Yeah. And Lloyd already got a D-Ward on the top Twin Gate. And also just now, that's a good play too from Spraker, ganking the Sound Spirit before he hit level 6. Getting a kill for Butterfly Effect, allow him to hit level 6 first. Rune fight.
There is a coil available, so Hardell does need to be really careful. Unfortunately, they're fighting for a lost cause. Gamng has already made it out with that shield rune, and with that shield rune means he has that protection for around those 3 to 4 minutes where the puck will not be able to take him out. I don't think the Spirit Breaker charge is going to be enough either.
Yeah. Oh, Spirit Breaker. Ooh, nice shot.
The headshot actually sped him up. That was interesting to see. He was so slow with that charge coming in from Hardell's Dual Breath and the Liquid Fire slow.
Yeah. Dreamer Cell might be a good deadlock player because of how good his skill shot.
I mean, the Morta seems like the perfect deadlock character to be.
They might just copy the concept to the new hero for deadlock.
But right now, 45 and 17 on Dreamocell. He is certainly having an amazing time here. Much better than the Shadow Fiend. Probably even much better than that Storm Spirit. So this will be a Morta with a lot of impact as he's going for... Okay, it's just the power treads. He went for the Robe of Magi. That caught me off guard slightly.
Oh.
Ooh. Saime goes down towards that top side. Kismet or Yukio able to find a return kill, and it's the Spirit Breaker, right? You talked about it in the draft. This hero that can rotate around the map, constantly apply pressure, means that you have the potential to recover even if you do lose a few of your heroes earlier on.
Yeah. Spirit Breaker is really strong. Also, he has a really good innate that allow him or his team to get more experience. And they're about to gank top again.
Saime, he's gonna get hit by the stun. Will go for that Husum, actually caught Kismet, but he's gonna get hit by a bash. And that will be enough for Kismet to drop down a few more raises or able to take out that Centaur who has no teleport in. But Gamng, he is coming in with the Storm. Butterfly Effect sees him though. So Gamng may not be able to initiate on that Shadow Fiend, but will be able to take apart that creep wave. That means his tower is not going to be taking in too much damage.
Okay, pretty good movement from Gamng. Walk to the top with a haste rune, maybe just to zone some of the Dire heroes away to protect the tier 1. Just want to show them that Storm is watching top. And the kill on at Centaur is pretty clean from Kismet. And some pro tips for the SF player: always cast the closest raise first, so that it's easier for him to dish out triple raises. So and he do exactly that to make sure he could burst down the Centaur. If he somehow mess up the 1 or 2 races, he might not be able to kill Centaur. Good play.
What do you
Solid
feel, or
performance.
rather, how do you feel about the Helm of the Dominator? I always feel like it's an underwhelming item now for the Centaur, where you may want auras earlier, but because you go for the Dominator, which requires a lot of gold, you will not have those auras come up earlier on.
I see some pro player they use it. They use the Helldom crit to send it to the mid lane, and at least they will have some impact while farming on the other side. Oh,
He missed his death shot. There is going to be a Dream Call coming in from Butterfly Effect. That means the Stampede is not going to provide enough value. Dreamosel now in trouble. The Pucks are going to go for a jaunt in as a whale does get activated, and it does seem like Dreamosel's safe, but did get hit by another bash. So Butterfly Effect will be able to pick up that kill, and it's going to be FTT coming in with that Ravage. The Shaman being pushed back will be taken out by Yukio. That is going to be 2 kills for Carstensz, or rather for Roar. They dove in pretty deep, but in the end, they did get that reward for it.
yeah. They bring 5 hero. Just want to make sure Dreamosel got shut down in the bottom lane. And even, I think even he hit the dash shot earlier. Maybe he will still die because Raw Gaming, they commit so many heroes for him. And oh, he actually still want to TP back to the bottom lane. Yeah, there's no Ravish. They used quite a lot of spell just now. But TP back here might be a risky move. They are calling some help towards bottom. This might be another fight here.
Is here too. He has that egg, so even though you don't have that Ravage, you're still playing with 2 big ultimates. The Stopper is very low, and it seems like Carstensz want to go in. They will actually burst down Kismet, and they will drop down that Macro Pyre. Should be able to take out that Tidehunter too. So Dreamosel fights back pretty hard, able to come up with a double kill, and that should give him his recovery.
Yeah, that's a pretty good ice path from HUL. The long range ice path, he hit the asset at the edge of the spell and allowed them to burst out the asset before he could use the vacuum. If somehow like the Phoenix and SF manage to use their ultimate at the bottom 5, maybe there's a chance that Raw Gaming might be able to get 1 or 2 kills there. But good defend again from Carstensz. They always wanted to defend their safe lane tier 1 tower. And this time it's pretty successful.
FTT is going for that pipe, so is not going for that Aghanim Scepter. Actually going for it, but after the pipe. So I really do like this approach, especially when the Shadow Fiend is going to be a very... I mean, we saw just how easily that Shadow Fiend died, Yuheng. I think if you don't protect your Shadow Fiend, he is going to get bursted down every single team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to play around the SF, because this hero has all the damage, but he don't have like any defensive spell or any escape ability. So they need to play around him, protect the SF, allow him to survive, and you can just dish out all the damage.
He is going for that Kaya. So it will be a magic damage build coming out from him. Certainly the right decision against a Mortha. How do you play against the Requiem though? The Dream Call Requiem Ravage, right? It's just that wombo combo that you have to be constantly wary of. Right now though, it's Carstensz who are in control of that jungle. And they're actually pinging out Kismet. Yukio is in big trouble here. There's going to be a long range zap coming in alongside that Stampede. Clove is going to get the hit with the bash, but again, it's that lost chip with that Ice Path. They will take out Kismet. Butterfly Effect will come in, but I doubt he's going to initiate.
Again, the beautiful Ice Path. Wow. And the hero, it was banned on the first game. And in this second game, it's not banned, and they'll just first pick it for HUL. I've seen him play this hero every time when this in the pool. They pick the check hero for him every time, and now it tells me it tell us why they pick him every time for HUL. The perfect ice path at the edge of the maximum cast range. It was perfect, hitting 2 hero with that into the Macro Pyre.
Oh,
mid lane.
Clove? He went in for the Nether Strike. Butterfly Effect is going to come in, has that Witchblade. But Gamng Dial, he's going to hold Butterfly Effect in with that Vortex. However, Butterfly Effect will throw out that Dream Coral and will be able to make it out thanks to that. But they won't be able to protect their tier 1 topper. Initiating like that on the Spirit Breaker, I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah, Puck, he was kind of far away to connect to kill the Shaman. So maybe he went in a bit too early. It's a good attempt, but only if the Puck is around.
Gamng Dial?
Oh, again?
Didn't actually get hit by the Illusory Orb. No, the Puck has a very early Witchblade, all things considered. Yuhang, do you think this Puck will be able to turn things around or at least come up with a tempo?
It's not gonna be easy, since like Hardell always hitting the beautiful ice path, and there's a Shadow Shaman this game that has really good disable that could hard counter the Puck. And there's a lot of work that Butterfly needs to do this game. He might need to be more careful on how he approach the fight, or maybe they can just play with the TIE Hunter Pipe Aura. If they hit the Pipe Aura timing, maybe they can try to make some play together. But right now, Park is doing great, but I'm just not sure if he could carry this game alone. Park definitely those kind of hero that could like 1v9, but this game is Jakiro.
Hardell is pretty much dead. Does not have any protection. No teleports coming in either. The tower was also taken down, but it is going to be Carstensz with the objective advantage. They have more towers on the other side. As Clove looking for that Nether Strike will not be able to find it. I mean, finding Gamng is just impossible right now.
Yeah. Without a Dream Coin, there's no way they'll be able to kill the Storm Spirit.
5 heroes here, Yuhang. They really want this tower. There is a Ravage online as well. No Pipe of Insight, but maybe enough protection to take this tower out. I mean, you have so many big ultimates. Even the egg, Dream Call is down, but still 3 big ultimates, too difficult to cut through. The catapult is there too, so they'll be able to equalize the objective advantage that Carstensz previously held.
And almost got caught by the disable. Pretty good movement from Raw Gaming to decide to rotate 5 heroes just to take down the mid tier 1 tower. And also surprised that there's no reaction coming from Carstensz that decide to give this mid tier 1 tower away.
FTT could be in possible danger, but it's actually going to be Lloyd, held in by the shackles. There's an ethereal shock too, but the Croaker stun came in, but a bit of protection for Lloyd. Won't be able to keep him safe. It's actually FTT. I do not know what he's doing there. Super far out from his tower, and is going to be held in by the Ice Boss. Gamng is going to come in with that Vortex and that Storm. FTT will even throw out that Ravage to do what little he can, but that is again a wasted play by him. In the end, he should just be going down.
Yeah. Shouldn't be there after the Phoenix death, but maybe it was too late for him to realize he was too far away.
Dreamcell? Dreamcell's very far away too, Yuhang. He activates that Veil and Jokum is there to help him. In fact, Kismet's going to be the one in trouble. He's going to throw out a triple raise, but not enough damage to take out Dreamcell. Lloyd will be the one to snipe him out instead, as the Shadow Fiend does manage to make his way out as the cavalry has arrived. It is going to be Butterfly Effect and Lloyd to finish the job that Kismet started. It is going to be 3 heroes that Roar will be able to pick up, and in my opinion, Yuhang, that's much better for Roar in comparison to what Carstensz got on that top side by taking out the Spirit Breaker and the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of number, they're getting 3 kills instead of 2, and they're also getting a bigger kill. The carry Mortar, the win condition for Carstensz Esport. It looks pretty close that almost like Mortar almost survived that one. But the Fire Spirit damage, I guess, from Lloyd managed to take down the Mortar at the last second. And now, because of these two, the engagement at the bottom lane, like Raw Gaming, they're looking pretty okay already. Just need to wait for the TIE Hunter timing. Once they hit that, I feel like it might be harder for Carstensz to deal with that.
There is
Roshan attempt.
Yeah, there's a Roshan attempt. No Ravage for about 50 seconds. FTT, though, he does have that pipe. But again, no Requiem, but you do have that egg and that Dream Call, so it is going to come down to the wire. It does seem like they've decided to take a fight. Dream Call gets sent out as FTT, he activates that pipe, but that Blubber isn't protecting him. It's going to be both the Shadow Fiend as well as the Tide Hunter falling. Phoenix going to get picked apart too, having not even used the egg.
Oh no. Not like this.
Not like this indeed. I mean, they made a big error by just pushing that Shadow Fiend so deep into that fight without any kind of a stun coming in, without the egg having been committed. Just a lot of mistakes being made by Roar.
They have no spell just now. They have no. They're missing some of the ultimate ability on Raw Gaming for that fight. Even they know that there's some they are doing the Roche, but I feel like it's better to give it to Carstensz since they have no big ulti. Even they have the Pike, and they're also not able to cast the egg at the right time, the right position. So pretty bad fight for Raw Gaming just now.
Breaker? I don't think he. Oh, okay, no, he's dead. Double Centaur stun.
Yeah. He also didn't pop his bulldoze early. Wasn't able to use it earlier just now. And with this Aegis on Mortar, they are looking to take control of the map for the next 4 minutes. They are gonna get the Tormentor for free in the top side of the map.
Butterfly effect is there, has that Blink Dagger going for that Parasma. I'm not sure if I agree with that choice of item. I think a Shiva's Guard or something like that would be much better on the puck. But
Yes.
as of right now, it does seem like they want to take a fight.
They have Ravish. Maybe they can try, but need to be more careful.
FTT is going to be held in by the Iceball. Glimmer Cape does come in and he has that 5-2. FTT waiting for that Ravage, should be able to throw it out, but where is the follow-up? It's just simply not there. Lloyd will come out with the egg that's going to get popped instantly. It's going to be Gamng inside of the fight again, able to take out FTT as Butterfly Effect disengages from that position. They did not have Yukio there, and quite honestly, Gamng, they have no follow-up for these fights unless they bring in their SF.
Yeah, it's a pretty sloppy fight, to be honest, for Raw Gaming. Even they hit like 5 hero with the Ravish, like I say, there's no damage follow-up. SF wasn't even close to that fight. And they just wasted all the spell, giving all the free gold away to Carstensz. And right now, they also give a free shot. Even they have 5 heroes right there in the fight. It's not going to be that easy to. They have Mortar Aegis. They have the Centaur with the Crimson. And maybe Raw Gaming need to be more careful on where or how they take the next fight. Kismet.
Reveals his Shadow Blade, and I'm very surprised that he actually went for this item. I mean, what is the point of a Yasha and Kaya if you're not going to go for the Blink Dagger, if you're going to get this Shadow Blade next?
Yeah, maybe the Shadow Fiend with the Blink would be better, so he could cast his combo with to dish out maximum damage with the Wreck. But Shadow Blade, yeah, I still prefer the Blink. He's queuing up the Blink. He want to buy both.
Maybe it's just that break against that Centaur, but still, it's. I mean, I don't see the space for the Shadow Fiend to be able to dish out auto attacks any time between that 40-minute mark. It's just you can't trade against Dreamocell in terms of auto attacks.
Yeah, that's right. You also need the BKB, so if he buy Shadow Blade and Blink both items, he also delays his BKB timing.
Oh, they found a great Requiem, are able to just raise down Hardell, but now the response comes in. Gamng will zap in with the Vortex, able to take out Kismet, but traded his life away. The Dreamocell will respawn through that Aegis, wants to take out that egg, but got hit by the bash, and that means that egg is going to come down. It stuns both Saime as well as Dreamocell, who does have a Shadow Blade of his own, but has revealed his position, has decided to take out Clove. FTT is very low, and Dreamocell is still doing pretty much a-okay. The puck is going to come in once more, needs a waning rift. Ravage gets thrown out. It's going to be the Anchor Smash that takes out Dreamocell, and in fact, an entire team wipe. On towards Carstensz, Raw Gaming gets the job done.
Okay, it ends pretty well. It looks pretty good at the start. They can burst out the SF. At the start of the fight, the highest damage dealer on their side. It looks pretty good for them, but somehow, and at the last second, after they kill some of the hero, and Mortar sticking around, taking a lot of damage as well from the Sun Ray too. And that egg somehow get popped, and nice charge from the Spirit Breaker. Then a 2-man or 3-man charge from a very good angle allowed the egg to pop. And that Ravage at the last second also. Maybe Mortar wasn't expecting that. That's why he decided to take the fight. But that Ravage and allowed them to clean out that fight for Raw Gaming. Pretty good one. And now somehow they are back again, Raw Gaming.
And I see a lot of big items on the horizon. You already have the Parasma on the puck. The Phoenix is going for that Shiva's Guard. Once you combine the Parasma and the Shiva's Guard, there is plenty of magical damage. Particularly, you add in the Requiem on top of all of that. But Yukio, he is going to get punished again. That is a back-to-back death on that Shadow Fiend. But I have a feeling, Yuhing, it's not Yukio who is appearing to be the playmaker. It is the Puck. And so far, Butterfly Effect has not died a single time.
Wow. Pretty impressive performance so far for Butterfly. Playing against a Shadow Shaman and still having a 0 death is pretty impressive.
Grimasoul?
Oh,
he activates his ultimate. Needs to be a bit careful. It's going to be the Dream Call also committed by the Puck, but it does seem to be a bit of a stalemate. I don't think either side can now go ahead. And again, Ravage is going to be on cooldown, but will be back up in 30 seconds. So too with the Dream Call. They have the Egg and the Requiem again. The Whale is off of cooldown. So it does seem like a bit of a back and forth exchange between both of these two sides. But I think that Carstensz are getting more simply because of the back-to-back deaths of the Shadow Fiend. I think their carry is, you know, it's one playmaker on the side of Roar, but two playmakers on the side of Carstensz.
Grove's gonna get caught.
Yeah, pretty much can't really do much. Do you think the Spirit Breaker skills into that mid to late game?
I feel like Spirit Breaker is like, all he need to do just this to stun heroes in the fight. Oh wait, what? Buyback?
Low bought back, but they've already lost Lloyd. I'm not exactly sure about that buyback. He used all the gold for his Shadow Blade there. Now they'll be able to take out Jokum. As I say that though, it's with that another strike and should be able to take out a hard L2. So both the supports actually falling down. The buyback, perhaps it's okay now, but I still don't actually like to see it.
Yeah.
Like it just feels weird buying back for that.
It looks okay now because of the kills to support. But yeah, it's a pretty decisive buyback from the Spirit Breaker.
And I mean, he'll get the gold for the Shadow Blade anyway.
Oh no, Soul Spirit. Okay,
I
yes,
mean,
a
he seems
BKB.
to be fine with that BKB, but can't exactly trade the hits. Mamang Daya is teleporting in a very risky spot. I mean, if they went forward, if they had a vision on Mamang Daya, they would have been able to take him out.
Yeah, if stay time, he might be dead. You will see him TP at that spot.
FTT almost has that Aghanim Scepter, so it does seem like quite the build-up for the side of Roar. At the same time, Dreamcell almost, or rather, has that Silver Edge. Can just buy it out if he wants to. Not really too sure of whether or not the break is going to be that big valuable item against a Tidehunter who isn't really frontlining as hard.
He's really good against a Tidehunter together with the Silent. So he break the Tidehunter and silence him, so he could like break, he could burst the Tidehunter before he could use the Ravage. Also the extra slow from the added to the movement speed cap. You can cap the target to 200 movement speed.
entire lineup. Maybe just another spirit pick here would be pretty good.
Yeah, something like Ember. Ember would be great for Raw. They have the last final pick, so they can see what's the last pick from Carstensz, and then they can decide.
Carstensz, they're actually going to go for the Ember Spirit themselves. Among Daya's Ember Spirit, certainly a sight to behold. But now that Roar do see the Ember, they have options. The Viper and Huskar isn't going to be one of those options, but you could honestly go for the Slardar as well if you want to. Just that instant initiation and the fact that you wreck the Ember Spirit in the lane. But if you want to play for your lineup, maybe just another Spirit pick or a Queen of Pain would be pretty nice here.
Yeah, I agree. Or even they can just go for the Monkey King, also a great hero that dumps the Ember Spirit in the lane and then feeds the lineup. It depends on the player preference now. There's a lot of hero still in the pool. So now after this Ember pick, I feel like it's kind of like a deny pick too. Like Carstensz want to deny the Ember from Raw. That's why they pick it. And now they want to put Razor on the safe lane. I don't think they want to play Razor against the Ember, so it's better they pick another mid laner. Something like Slardar you mentioned can be good here, or MK be better, and maybe I can't think of any other better pick than Monkey King here. But I'm not sure if Butterfly plays it.
I mean, a Monkey King would be very risky into a Shadow Fiend and a Brewmaster, at least in my opinion. I'm not exactly sure about who they can go for. I mean, I suppose it's a case where you have so many options that limits your options. You know, when you have so many heroes to pick from, who do you go for? But they're down to about 10 seconds. They will finally decide. It is going to be a hero that I was not thinking of. Gamng, I will be perfectly honest. I did not see this coming.
Yeah, I almost forgot about Dragon Knight. It's a great hero because of it's a good matchup too against Ember Spirit because of the Dragon Tail. They have a good lockdown to deal with a high mobility hero like Ember. It's always good. And then he out-trade the Ember with the passive. Yeah, it's a really strong hero for Raw Gaming. But they're gonna put the DK on the safe lane instead of the mid lane.
Oh, they're actually going to play a Razor on the mid side. Now,
yeah.
I think the Razor destroys the Ember Spirit, but a lot of Razors don't actually go for that max static link. They go for that max plasma field, which in turn means that the static link cooldown, I believe it's around that 40-second mark at that level 1. It will mean that Gamng Daya is going to have at least a decent time. But how do you think this carry matchup fares? Because Dragon Knight is always going to be one of those heroes that is reliant on that transformation. So if you're able to play around the transformation, particularly with that Requiem, then Dragon Knight's not going to stand a chance.
Yeah, DK, when he's popped his Dragon form, he's way stronger than SF for sure. And then in terms of landing, DK is pretty good too. And the mid-game potential with the blink, if Dragon Knight hits his blink dagger timing, he can be more active than the SF in the mid-game. He can make maybe 1 or 2 kill happen together with his early blink dagger. So maybe tempo and landing phase, DK is better than the SF, but in the late game potential and damage output, SF is stronger. Also, the farming potential, I also think that maybe SF is better because you don't have to rely on his transformation form to farm like DK. So there's some pros and cons between this carry matchup. But I'll prefer to play on the DK.
Let's see if there will be any early game clash coming about. But do you think that Roar have the better draft?
Yeah, in this game tree, maybe they have a slightly better draft. But I just not sure how they're gonna deal with the Brewmaster.
And also how they're gonna take a 4v5 fight, right? Because with that Brewmaster comes that Wind Ruling's Tornado, or just send someone up into the air, take a 4v5 team fight.
Yeah.
It does seem very hard. At the same time, I mean, if there are pretty good ways to take a fight, you have that Centaur who'll have those auras, Dragon Knight's naturally tanky, Razor's also naturally tanky. Shaman with the disables, Phoenix with the egg. So, I mean, depending on how the team fight actually goes, could be favorable for Roar. But it can go either way. This is actually, I love to see it. Both teams packing in a really well-built roster. So this does mean that it can go either way, and we really won't be able to tell until we see the laning phase play out. Speaking of, who do you think wins the lane exchange between both of these two sides? You have a Centaur and a Shaman towards that top lane, playing into a Jakiro and a Shadow Fiend.
This one might be hard for Centaur and Shaman, because Shaman, he has pretty decent trading ability with the Shackle and pretty decent base attack damage, but against Jakiro and SF, these two heroes, they have insane damage in the lane. Also, Jakiro outrange the Shadow Shaman. But still, there's a potential that Shaman and Centaur might be able to get a kill in this lane if they hit level 2 first before the Jakiro and SF. And here, Shaman is doing really good trading. Yeah, with the heal from the Shackle is out trading the Jakiro now. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And will actually be able to, he's going to be able to drag the entire creep wave away. And Shaman is a pretty good trader against the Jakiro. All of the damage from the Liquid Fire and the Dual Breath can be traded out with the Shackle heal that comes in. Yeah. May even see Clove maxing out that Shackle.
Yeah, it's definitely maxing out putting more point on the Shackle so that he could out-trade the Jakiro. And also doing this, it's going to help him to win them the lane. Yeah, Shaman is playing really well so far.
And he actually lets one creep go. Oh, FTT. What? Yeah. He took out a Jakiro by himself, hard L. I'm not really... You know, I didn't have the camera pan on the Jakiro for a reason, because I did not think that a Centaur would be able to take out the Jakiro by himself. What went wrong? I didn't expect
that would happen too. I think it's all thanks to the Shadow Shaman. He traded with the Jakiro early, put him to very low health, and once Centaur hit level 2 with a double nuke, yeah, he got that first blood.
But Hardell had the boost of speed, Gamng.
Yeah, but it's not gonna help him to survive the nuke damage if he couldn't keep a distance away from Centaur.
Oh,
that's a good
hard
point. Really
not
good
to be able to keep your distance from the Centaur, right?
Somehow he got caught maybe by the fog with the inner tree.
Oh man, I mean, that is a big mistake at the end of the day. That is a kill that should never have happened. That was solo experience to the Centaur, a solo kill too, so...
Yeah, for sure, that shouldn't happen.
And Clove got the experience from the wave that he pulled in earlier, right? So it's not as if Clove lost out anything. So both of these two heroes getting quite a bit early on for Roar Gaming. Let's take a look at some of these other lanes though. Dragon Knight plus that Phoenix against those two melee heroes. I think this is perhaps another one of those lanes which should favor Roar.
Yeah, this one is it's gonna be a pretty easy lane for Roar also. It's not that easy to kill DK or the Phoenix in the lane. DK is naturally tanky, and Phoenix, he has the dive. Can always jump away, unless Tiny somehow time his disable to stop the dive. If there's no way, if not, there's no way that could kill Phoenix or DK in the lane. It's not that easy. Oh,
they do
pretty aggressive play.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, I mean, Yukio, he's just so tanky. I do not see how they can take him out. And even Jokum, like you mentioned, if he has that avalanche, he can potentially stop that Phoenix dive. But quite frankly, I think he needs the avalanche to set up to get a kill in the first place. So this is probably going to be a low impact Tiny, but maybe he can rotate. I mean, he can't even rotate, because now that I think about it, where are you going to go? Is it towards that Razor, which is again a risky target to go on?
Yeah. Now they can just play for the lane, trying to get something out of it. Maybe just get some XP and go.
Razor does have that static link, and with the static link means that Mamang Daya, and you have the maxed out static link, so he didn't actually go for the Storm Surge. This is what I would like to see, because the static link level 1, 44-second cooldown, level 2 is 36, so even at the level 2 mark, it's not exactly a low cooldown to win the lane.
Yeah, top lane, they're trying to go on FTT here, but the Hoop Storm into the TP, it's gonna keep him safe.
Yeah, he'll teleport all the way back to the fountain, and is again going for that Helm of the Dominator. I suppose the utility for the Dominator creep makes it worth it, even though I very few games I like the Dominator, and maybe I just hate a Dominator in general. Maybe I'm just biased, Gamng.
Yeah, so I also don't like it. I would prefer like the Vanguard or maybe just some Bracer instead of the Health Dominator. I
Maxing
just
out his Retaliate. I suppose to farm up as fast as he can?
yeah, I think so.
Level 1
Thanks
neutral
for the
item is
first-
also going to spawn, so he can, if he gets a chipped west with the increased Retaliate, he should be able to farm up pretty fast.
Yep. Thanks for the early first blood you get just now. Get a really good early half Iron Veil. I feel like that might help him to snowball. Because that lane should be really hard for Centaur, but now he's able to get some level and farm
Joker
mid lane.
is going to get a Hex Top, and even has a secondary
Wow.
Hex coming in from Clove's auto attack. Butterfly Effect will be able to pick up the kill as over towards that side. Mamang Daya, he's getting chased out by a lone Phoenix. It's going to be Butterfly Effect will end up with a double kill. That is again very unexpected.
Yeah, very unexpected rotation from both support at 5.5 minutes to the mid lane. It's not even close to 6 just now, but they rotate to the mid lane very early. Also move pretty deep into the Dire Triangle and manage to get 2 good kills. They also do some good damage, that's some good damage on the mid tier 1.
Yeah, there's a catapult wave that's just dealing in damage, but it's an overall, you know, at the 6-minute mark, you want the power runes. It is going to go the way of Butterfly Effect, and unfortunately, because there's no Razor, they'll be able to take out that Shaman. Mamang Daya will end up with a return kill, so does get a bit of gold going back his way. But again, I think as far as how the lanes have been panning out, Roar are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they're doing great in the mid and the bottom lane, and Centaur is also doing not so bad. It's not feeding and getting some farm in the jungle. So I think I can say that Raw Gaming, they are winning the almost all 3 lane. And here this rotation from Butterfly Effect. He has the shield rune and he's looking to fight the 7-minute Shrine on the Dire side. Pretty aggressive movement.
Both sides actually looking for the Shrine of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Hard L may be able to take it, but the Razor is coming in.
Oh.
Butterfly Effect wants to join his team, and Dreamosoul does not have that Requiem. He's already thrown his triple raisins, and that means that Dreamosoul is going to get taken out. Mamang Daya may be here, but with so much damage going in towards that static link, I doubt Mamang Daya can do anything about this. It is going to be both Shrines of Wisdom being picked up by Roar, and they also got Dreamosoul down.
Yeah, beautiful movement. TP from Butterfly Effect. Because of that, because of him, they get both 7-minute Wisdom Shrine. Yeah, even the SF kill, that was cherry on top. Beautiful.
I mean, speaking of a kill, Butterfly Effect, he's coming in, has another static link, but Dreamosoul, he's here towards that mid lane, and they'll be able to secure the kill on the Shaman. Butterfly Effect will choose to play it safe. But overall, I mean, Gamng, these supports are going to be starved for experience. I mean, Hard L, he is level 3 versus the level 5 of the Shaman, and even the Phoenix has almost hit the level 5 mark.
Yeah. Not getting the 7-minute Shrine, which means the support wouldn't hit the level 6 at 10 minutes or by 10 minutes. And without that early level 6 might be harder for them to play the fight later on.
And for a hero like the Tiny, not having the experience really hurts you, because there's only one thing the support Tiny does, and that's dish out damage and disable. If you're under leveled, you're not going to have that relevant magical damage come in, so this will really put Carstensz back just a little bit. But they are looking to make a play. Butterfly Effect is very close to his tier 2 tower. Saime, though, is going to come in with a split. They have the urn coming in. The Centaur Stampede is going to be there. And the tier 2 tower, it just simply does too much damage for Mamang Daya to dive in. In fact, Mamang Daya needs to be careful, because Clove was looking to come in with the Shackle, and the Hex will not be able to find it. But I doubt that Roar are going to be too unhappy about this. I mean, that was a primal split being used by Saime for just about nothing.
Yeah, good use of the Stampede and keeping Razor safe. Yeah, pretty good attempt from Carstensz, but just not able to get the job done. A bit unfortunate. They also commit commit a lot of resources for that one, like you say, the split, and they also commit a lot of time, but couldn't get anything. It's a 2-core rotation somehow. It's not with the support. So Brewmaster also missing some farm after not getting that kill. And now, like, if you look at the net worth, Centaur is higher net worth than the Brewmaster now. It's because of their field rotation.
Ooh, they also come out with a shackle. Dreamosol throws out his Requiem, but it will actually not mean Butterfly Effect goes very far. He should be able to chase after that Tiny. Another Plasma Field gets sent out, and Jokum will fall.
Ooh. Okay,
Butterfly Effect
nice.
not on a dominating streak. This potentially they'll even be able to pressure this tier 1 tower. Clove hits his level 6, has the Serpent Wards, will just drop them down. A tower being collected at the back of a Tiny kill. They also found the Brewmaster earlier, and that was a solo kill by the Dragon. I do not know how a Dragon Knight gets a solo kill on the Brewmaster. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen very unexpected kills happen this game. I just don't know how you make that one work.
Maybe Kismet realized there's no Prima speed. That's why he can go hard on the Brewmaster and taking advantage of the off cooldown of the split, and they punish him. And
level 4 Dragon Tail,
DK,
perhaps that's what enabled him to do it as well, right? 2.4 second of a stun.
Yeah.
Arm that up for Yukio 2. He is going to be able to get to that Mask of Madness. So this is getting a bit dangerous for Carstensz, because Straight Edge or Dreamosol is playing for the magic damage Shadow Fiend, and again doesn't have the farm to justify being this far behind. 5,000 net worth only, and he has a very long way to go before he comes in with impact. This is one of the weaknesses of a Shadow Fiend pick, is that you need that Yasha and Kaya, you need that Blink Dagger to have any kind of fight back potential.
Yeah, and SF behind in terms of net worth against the DK is not good, and I expect him to get more farm out of the lane because he has such a strong laning. But right now it's like almost 1,000 gold plus behind of the Dragon Knight, and I didn't expect that far behind for SF. He need to get the blink after the Kaya, and hopefully he can get some kills so that he will get higher net worth.
Mamang Dayo?
Centaur.
Starting things off with the Searing Chains. There is a Stampede though to turn it around, at least for as far as the stun is concerned. Butterfly Effect is going to come in, and Jokum is going to fall. Lloyd is here too. There's a Hex on Mamang Daya, but they can't hold him back from the Remnant. They'll disengage, but I'm not too sure if Carstensz have a clear plan with these moves, or if these counter plays are just too good. It kind of feels like Carstensz, they want to go in, but realize that when they're on that front line, they don't really have a clear way to initiate.
Yeah, they need to do some good damage calculation before they went in. And in the last engagement, they tried, but the reinforcement from Raw Gaming, they're just too fast, and they always have the number and the counter initiation. And this punish Carstensz Esport. And if Carstensz Esport couldn't get all this rotation done, they couldn't get any kills. They're actually just feeding kills away, also giving a lot of time away and not getting anything. And because they keep doing this and keep failing, they are very behind now in terms of net worth. 3,000 gold behind, another tower claimed by the Shadow Shaman. And the game will get harder and harder.
Especially since Saimei went for the
Carstensz
Hand of
Esport.
Midas. Gamng. I mean, they were already. It's already a greedy draft. Shadow Fiend picks are always going to be greedy. You add in a Hand of Midas on top of that, and I don't see how Carstensz can take a fight until that 20-minute mark.
Yeah, and also Ember Spirit not able to get any thing on the map, and low levels on Jakiro. So ideally they want to follow up with the Ember Spirit chain into the Jakiro combo, but top lane.
Ideally, they want to live in this scenario. At least that is the ideal for Dreamosol. He will be able to make his way back as the Centaur gets held back by the Searing Chains. But Dreamosol dishes out a few raises. It does seem that Roar Gaming will think twice about continuing forward. They will just go back. But again, 4,000 lead.
Yeah. Defensive Requiem is not the way to... I mean, he has to, but ideally they want to use it to get the kills. And they also commit the Ember Spirit rotate top just to keep the SF safe. So we can tell that Raw Gaming, they are leading the game. They're on the driver's seat. They have to take how the enemies want to go, how the game's gonna flow. And we can tell that Carstensz just react. They just react all the play from Raw Gaming. And that's not the best way to play Dota 2. They want to be ahead. They want to be proactive. But so
Yukio
far,
has the Blink Dagger, and like you mentioned, Yuheng, no Blink Dagger, or rather, no Requiem for the Shadow Fiend means that Raw Gaming, they could look for a play here. But I think Yukio wants to farm up. No, he was thinking about
there we go.
it. He was thinking about taking the Ancient Camp, but Clove came in for a smoke of deceit. They'll see Mamang Daya, and Mamang Daya will get initiated upon. They'll start off the fight. They'll have the Hex follow up, and Mamang Daya is going to wither away. That is going to be yet another kill for this Dragon Knight, and they have options right now. I think they're actually heading for Roshan, but
yeah.
Roshan, where is Roshan? He should be here just about now, right? He does make his way in. Serpent Ward is out. Actually, a pretty good Serpent Ward. One of them is outside of that Roshan pit, so it's actually giving them vision too.
Yeah. Take a look on the Dragon Knight XP. He's level 14 at minute 15. That is insane high level.
He has 172 CS, 2 kills. Oh, this is troublesome. It is a mid-game oriented lineup with the Razor and the Dragon Knight, but it is a response coming in by Carstenz's side. Roshan is very low, and the Aegis will be picked up by Yukio. There's still no Requiem coming in there. Carstensz are being held way far back. Lloyd's egg is gonna pop, and Carstensz, they just have to get back now. It's going to be a Requiem unleashed, but the combo is not successful. It's going to be Yukio's first life taken out, but Carstensz, they have yet to actually achieve a good kill. It's going to be Clove going in with that Blink Dagger, holds that Brewmaster back from his escape, as Yukio will go in for a Dragon Tail on towards that Jakiro. 2 kills being acquired by Roar. It seems like they have used up all the fuel in the tank, but again, a clear win for their side.
Yeah, it's definitely a clear win. Even they managed to use the Toss into Reckon combo, they only can use, they are able to use that on the DK at the situation. And DK has 2 life just now, so they won't. Oh wait, DK.
I'm not sure about this play by Dreamsol and Jokum. They can't get that kill. What is... It's a drag. It's a 3. He has 3,000 HP, Yuheng. 3,000 HP.
7 minutes, 3,000 HP.
Like, yeah, surely you can calculate the amount of damage coming out from your spells, right? The 3 raises, the stun toss. It's not enough.
Yeah, they need a Requiem. But they used it earlier just now in the last fight. And the last fight outside the Roshan pit, I think they didn't kill anyone, right? They didn't kill any of the Raw Gaming hero. I feel like it's all because of the aura from the Razor with the Guardian Grave. And that's why Razor is so popular right now with this build. Having the Guardian Grave, keeping everyone alive, and also being so tanky at the front line, doing so much damage and stealing damage.
It's like trying to bash your head against the wall, and you know your vision starts to become blurry. There's blood all over your face, but you're still trying to bash and go through concrete, or rather cold road steel, in fact, and it's just not working out. They'll commit to the Stampede, but I think it's just a disengage. FTT wants to make his way out, but he is being chased here. This could be a great kill if Carstensz are able to find it. Mamang Daya should be able to chain FTT down. They have the 3 heroes here, but this is a very slow kill. Icepath is going to miss. FTT somehow still alive, is even going to try and go for the teleport out, will not be successful, and it will be brought down, but man oh man, that kill was slow.
Yeah, it's a slow kill.
And to be fair, it's also a trade, right? The tower was picked up, the tier 2 tower, so it's not as if that sets Roar behind in their tempo.
Yeah, that kill is good, but took them so long. And I always thought that a centaur almost survived because of the tiny miss toss, and I also thought that maybe there was some reinforcement TP down to keep a centaur safe, but
I think Grimasol's okay. He's also going for that Shadow Blade. And keep in mind, the Shadow Fiend is on a I have to hold that thought. Yukio is gonna go in. The Requiem, he's second-guessed himself. He throws it out for the second channel, is able to throw it out, and now it is Yukio going on strong alongside Butterfly Effect, who gets sent up into the air, but still, they will be able to take Dreamocell down first. Hard L is going to be the second casualty, and even though Roar have lost their carry and in fact their mid laner, and it does seem like Carstensz, this is a pretty good fight. Hard L has bought back into it. They should be able to take out the Shaman as well as Lloyd, hold him back from the dive, or Though he does find his dive out among Daya, he does have the Searing Chains, actually no more mana for the chains available, but just needs to overcome the distance. Lloyd won't be able to get very far. Finally, a good fight for Carstensz, even though it is at the cost of a buyback.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. They take the fight in the Dire triangle, so Dire should have the area. They are fighting on the Dire side, so Dire should have the advantage here because of the outpost, allow them to, or maybe the towers, allow them to TP back to their team fight. But they're also losing some of their hero. SF also did die at the end, so they need to get SF to higher net worth. But SF dying first, not getting all the kill credit, it's not the best scenario. But still, overall, the team goal is gonna beneficial for the Dire side. They're also getting more experience for the Jakiro and Brewmaster. It's not bad. But still, they need to get the SF bigger. That's the win condition hero.
And Yukio jumping, blinking towards that low ground certainly didn't do him any favors. Still,
Yeah.
20-minute Tormentor is up. That is about 1400 net worth up for grabs. Also a shard, which is honestly pretty good on the side of Roar if you can grab it. Yeah, the Shaman getting that foul play upgrade to his Hex, or maybe even Lloyd getting that upgrade to that Sunray.
Yeah, both support shot is really good this game. Super high value. Being able to use the Sunray during the egg. Also, I think you can use it twice. If you use it once before the egg and use it one more during the egg with the shot upgrade. And the Shaman with the 4 play, I think, allow him to use item during the chicken form. That also gonna help the hero to survive at least a bit longer in the team fight. Might be even to like outplay some of the players sometime.
May not survive right now.
Yeah, might be dead.
I mean, he has 3 heroes on top of him, so again, a good pickup once more by Carstensz. But the question with all of these skills, right, Yuheng, is does it slow down Roar? Does it bring back some of the lead or some of the disadvantage that you face back towards your side? Do you think these skills matter?
Not very big significant kill unless they kill DK here, and then maybe they will have a chance to recover from this game, because DK is a main problem for Carstensz esports. He has BKB now. It's gonna be harder to shut him down, and it's gonna continue getting bigger, dishing out more higher damage in the team fight. They also have like some aura complete already on Centaur. The Lotus are gonna be up soon. They are looking to take a fight.
They also have, I mean, he's about to get his Chrysalis too. Once he gets to that Daedalus, you have to consider what Dreamosol is packing in with all of his net worth. Right now, he can get that Shadowblade Requiem off, but it's a difficult one, right? You want a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Brewmaster, though, he is very farm, right? We spoke about the Hand of Midas much earlier, but right now, he does have the Blink Dagger and the Aghanims built up, so he can go in for a Primal Split. That at least is guaranteed. Oh no.
Okay. Defensive Requiem. Butterfly effect, even he didn't get the kill, but at least he forced something out. Mid lane, that may be a big fight. Brewmaster jumping in.
Yeah, the BKB activates by Yukio. It's Glove who will get taken out, and Yukio's not actually in a good position. They don't have Butterfly effect nearby. It is Roar isolated from the rest of their team as a Centaur gets sent up into the air, cannot protect his Dragon Knight. Egg does get popped, but Yukio is losing so much of his HP. He has already gone down as Butterfly effect comes in, but it's Saimei, rather the Tiny, coming in with a 3-man avalanche. FTT now trying to make his way out, but it's now going to be Dreamosol to be the difference maker, coming in with a double kill, and Butterfly Effect, who was too late to the party, will realize he has none of his friends there.
Yeah. Dragon Knight getting focused down first at the start of the fight. He's using his BKB and not able to get any kill. And the Spirit Vessel dishing out so much damage just now on the high HP hero like Dragon Knight is super effective. And that fight is a big blunder for Raw Gaming. Not fighting together, not fighting properly without the Razor. They're missing out some AoE heal, some AoE damage. And that might cost them another tier 1 tower top.
I mean, that costs them their entire lead, right? I think the momentum has completely shifted. Dreamosol, he's going to be able to get to that BKB. within so much of the space that his team is now able to acquire. That Brewmaster is going for that Assault Querus. The Ember Spirit among Daya, who was struggling for much of the game, is, one can say he's still struggling right now, but again, will have a lot of impact because his BKB is only about 700 to 800 gold away. So I think Carstensz are in an amazing spot, and for Roar Gaming to make that kind of a blunder in an elimination series, you have to consider the fact that their timing is mid-game oriented. The Dragon Knight is going to scale down, the Razor, sure, he does scale up into that late game, but I would imagine that the Shadow Fiend is going to outscale everyone on the side of Roar.
Yeah, for sure. With COH BKB online on Dreamer Cell, he should be able to survive through the first round of the team fight. He's also able to use his ulti with the BKB. And now it's all depend on the next Roshan fight. It's gonna decide who's gonna have the control for the next 5 minutes if they get the Roshan. And top, they're heading to top to get the Dragon Knight. If they get the Dragon Knight here, should be a free Roshan for Carstensz Esport.
Yukio does have the BKB TP out.
Yeah.
As they'll realize where Yukio actually is, they want to make a play for him, but he has that Blink Dagger, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Or rather, no, he was able to blink out. Now, Yukio knows they're going for him, so he should just BKB and teleport away. Please, is he going to farm this? I have a feeling he's going to farm this.
Please don't.
He's going to farm it, Yuhan. And even worse is the fact that it's going to work out. He's going to continue farming this spot. He's not going...
He might get a kill here, maybe.
Oh no! Oh, if he gets the kill here, Yuhang, this would be okay. Okay, I am glad all is right in the world. Right? He doesn't get that kill.
Okay.
Oh.
Somehow he get away from that rotation from Carstensz. But looks like Dreamer Cell just gonna go straight into the pit. Yeah, they want to force them to fight around the Roach pit, and that's a good call.
There's an amplify damage rune for Mamang Daya here. Jokum, he found the toss!
There we go.
Yukio's just gonna get bursted down! Oh no, that is going to mean this is a freebie for the side of Carstensz, an entire Aegis, and it also comes down with a banner. They may be losing their tier 2 tower, but this is more than worth it for Carstensz.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a perfect tiny toss into Requiem. Yeah, that's like, how much damage? 2.6k in just 2 spell. With just 2 spell. Yeah, pretty good fight. Pretty good pick off on the Dragon Knight. And now they get the Aegis on Dreamer Cell. So that should be the one that control the game, should be able to take down most of the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, their next set of items is online. Not to mention, we haven't talked about Hard L's items. Right now, the reason why is because he is just support. But he's getting to that pure damage macro pyre. Just needs 1600 gold before he has that. And that pure damage macro pyre will melt through these tanky heroes on the side of Roar.
Yeah, for sure. They don't have really good mobility on Dragon Knight. He don't have any like Hurricane Pie, only depend on Stampede to move around the team fight. So, and most of the time he might be sitting in the macro pyre. And the Scepter from Jakiro just amplify the damage to pure damage. So it's gonna be more effective against the Dragon Knight later in the team fight. Also the ice right, around the macro pyre is pretty effective to the slow, make it harder for Dragon Knight to move around the team fight.
In other words, if you don't have the Stampede, you're dead.
Yeah, for sure. Jakiro will always look for opportunity to control the Dragon Knight and save the macro pyre for the Dragon Knight, because he's the main hero that do most of the damage. If they could take care of the Dragon Knight, it would be easier for Carstensz.
A Butterfly Effect doesn't have a BKB, Yuhang. So, you know, you're talking about the Dragon Knight and how he's gonna have a rough time. What about the heroes that don't have a BKB? Or do they just don't stand a chance against that macro pyre? Oh no, once again, he was able to activate that BKB though and should be able to fight back. The only problem is he's using most of that duration against a Tiny. And his BKB is going to wear off. Dreamer Cell has that Requiem, will unleash it on top of Yukio. There's going to be the Stampede coming in, but can Yukio build up the gap? He is going to get hit by the stun, but Lloyd's Egg is going to create that gap for him. Unfortunately, Saime was there with the Primal Split. and will be able to rip apart not only that Dragon Knight, but also that Phoenix.
Yeah. They got all three of them, despite using the Stampede, trying to keep Dragon Knight alive, but didn't manage to do so. Should be able to push the bottom tier 2 tower, maybe even can go for the high ground. There's no Dragon form, there's no BKB.
And in this kind of a scenario, I always find it... I think it's not worthwhile to be using your BKB duration on a support. I mean, as soon as Jokum uses that Avalanche Toss, he provides no more value in the team fight. He does not exist in the team fight. So, going for him, apart from these big targets like Dreamocell, even the Jakiro coming in with this impact, if you want to take out a support, target the Jakiro. So these are a lot of mistakes being committed by Roar.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like how and when he used BKB for who, it tells us like the result, the outcome of the team fight already. At the start of team fight, like you say, he used it for the tiny. Yeah, that's not the way to. I mean, that's kind of wasted. But with the BKB, and once BKB is down, he has no way to escape from the fight.
Dreamocell almost has that Satanic. Or rather, he has a Satanic. Okay.
Oh.
This is...
Just pick up.
It's rough. Butterfly Effect does have that Shiva's Guard, has that Mountain Guardian Greed, so has plenty of dispels available, has a heal against that Macropyre. Maybe that can be of some use or some value. Yukio has that Daedalus, wants an initiation coming in from FTT. They want to fight inside of their triangle. Yukio is gonna get hit, but gets hit by that Requiem. FTT got hit by it too. Dreamocell has the gap. Butterfly Effect is going to go in. Dreamocell with that Aegis is a target that is very difficult to take down. Even if you bring him down once, he has another life. And in fact, they're struggling to actually contest against him. They will be able to pop him once and take out that Jakiro. This is turning out to be a good fight, but now that Yukio is, or rather Dreamocell is back for his second life, for the second round, it does seem like he'll be able to get that job done. Shaman will be falling after the Centaur. Dreamocell will be able to build up the gap with his Silver Edge. It is the Dragon Knight now vulnerable. Satanic activated by Dreamocell. He will wipe out Roar as Lloyd, the only one left standing, will be diving away. FTT, he's going to buy back into this to try and get the kill. The Brewmaster will be successful as Dreamocell is playing a game of Ring of Roses with that Phoenix, but now wants to target that Centaur. I think at the end of the day, both teams will just have to go back, but Jokum, he is here, will send or toss FTT up into the air, and that is a dieback on not only the Centaur Yuheng, but also the Shaman.
Yeah. Carstensz Esport, they almost mess up that fight. Even having the Aegis on Dreamocell, and that should be the one that own or dominate the team fight, but they use most of the spell on the Centaur, and Centaur bought so much time. They use a tiny Avalanche Toss combo into the Requiem on the Centaur, but they can't burst him down and just run around and go back in, do another set of Spling Stun. And that's why that's why Raw Gaming, they're able to kill some of the dire heroes.
Dreamocell
that
did
fight could
15,500 damage that team fight, Yuheng.
Yeah. I feel like that fight could be better if they have a better targeting in the team fight.
Wait, better for Roar or for Carstensz?
Carstensz. Because they are the one that having the advantage with the Aegis and with the high ground vision and all. But the Centaur just bought a lot of time and they also tank a lot of spell. And that's why Raw Gaming able to kill some of the Carstensz heroes.
And I suppose a very small silver lining, I don't even know if it's a silver lining, is the fact that Aegis was taken out outside of the base, so you don't have the push potential coming in. At least until the next Roshan, or if you get a big wipe. So that does give a bit of room, a bit of breathing space for the side of Roar, but it's at the back of an oxygen cylinder, right? It's not there. They don't have fresh air. They have an artificial supply that may just run out. They have to play this more careful. They can't be getting caught across the map.
Yeah. And SF about to hit level 25. They might find some kills here at the bottom area. DK is a pretty good target.
They will see Yukio, and you are right. He is a pretty good target, and they will find the target on its mark. It is going to be Dreamocell with a godlike streak, in fact. And with this Dragon Knight down, without the buyback available on him, no buyback on that Shaman or that Centaur either, this will be Carstensz who will knock on that high ground.
Yeah, time for the high ground push. Prop the Prima split. Just want to make sure they can save this high ground safely.
I think you just have to give this up. I think you may just be giving up 2 lanes of barracks here.
Yeah, maybe the game 50 seconds is more than enough for Dreamer Cell to take down all the barracks here. Look at that damage.
Oh man, it's just melting through these barracks. I mean, sure, a 7-second glyph is going to be fine. It's going to be the Shaman Clove, the one in trouble. He's going to be able to drop down his Serpent Boards, Gamng pushing the rest of Roar back. But Carstensz should really focus on these objectives rather than taking a fight, because that is what Roar want. Only 20 seconds left on that Dragon Knight Majokum. Yet another play coming in from that Tiny. However, it was the disable on that Shadow Fiend, and the fight gets reversed. It is going to go in favor of Roar. Dreamocell goes down, and there goes your push.
They got distracted by, oh no, by the Roar Gaming hero. I'm not sure why they went like to the bottom area and fight around the Serpent Ward. They should just be hitting the tier 3 tower like you say. They should like... A customer can just hit the tier tower and make Roar Gaming heroes go on them in the middle instead of playing at the bottom side area and fight for nothing. And then somehow like, SF got isolated at the front line, and he got shackled without before he used his BKB, and he got burst down at the fight. And that is not what I expect. And that fight also without the Dragon Knight, somehow that Roar Gaming is able to hold the high ground.
Do you think it's going to be enough for a comeback, or is it just a bit of... Oh, Gamng gets got out as well over on that top side. That makes a kill on the Shadow Fiend, the Brewmaster, and the Ember Spirit. So, I mean, is this some silver lining? Is this do you start to see some light at the end of the tunnel here for Roar?
Yeah, they are getting pick-off after pick-off, and now they are able to get this Roshan. Oh, and that's the... Oh wait, middle, another pick-off.
Yeah, that is back-to-back pick-offs on Carstensz's lineup. If you're Carstensz, you are back to that brick wall we were talking about, Gamng.
Yeah. That's the snowball effect. Losing one hero on the map, which means they are very weak for that moment. And Roar Gaming is gonna take advantage of that to go for more. They're gonna get the Roshan here. That's a big objective. There's a 3rd gen Roshan with banner, Aegis, Chase, Refresher Shot. Oh wait, he just consumed? Okay. The Shaman just consumed the cheese.
Actually,
maybe it's
maybe he likes cheese.
I don't know.
I remember you casting a few days ago. You told me you like cheese.
Oh yeah,
I love cheese
like
too.
cheese.
You know, can't blame the Shaman there. He likes his cheese.
Yeah. But I think you want to save it for the very moment. But now that's okay.
I mean, they do have the refresher shard, so they'll have 2 Serpent Boards to drop down. So potentially, Roar could equalize the objective exchange. They are only down 1 barracks. Dragon Yukio does have, or rather doesn't have, a buyback. So they need to take this fight very carefully. He does have that 2nd life, but it's going to be the Shaman getting taken out from the very get-go. Hard L misses his Ice Pod, but drops down the perfect Macro Pyre on top of Yukio. He's going to come back into the Macro Pyre and the Requiem. He never stood a chance.
Yeah, not at all. Okay. The Centaur just get melted down by SF. And that Macro Pyre into the Requiem up on the DK 2nd life. Yeah. Roar Gaming stand no chance. And right
one of the
now,
things about keeping the BKB in your backpack with that Aegis is when you swap it out, there's still that 1 to 2 second duration where you don't have a BKB when you come back online.
Yeah.
Oh, Lloyd?
Oh.
A bit of nothing, really. I mean,
yeah,
it's just not possible. There's no buyback on the Dragon Knight, Gamng. I feel like this game is pretty much done and dusted. The pings are going to come out to defend, but Clove will realize sooner or later that there's no one to defend.
Yeah, even Phoenix has buyback, he has no egg, yeah, so should be GG.
Serpent wards are going to be planted down. They're going to be the last line of defense here as the tier 4s. They're not going to be able to hold Carstensz back. They are at full HP. Throne now vulnerable. No glyph available. The buyback is going to come in from Lloyd. He's going to be trying to do what little he can. Clove goes in for a hex, but instantly gets melted down. Carstensz fight against the Razor is underway as Butterfly Effect is going to do what he can. 5 seconds for the Dragon Knight to come back. Can Roar Gaming hold them back? As it will be Butterfly Effect who gets taken out. Clove gets taken out too. Lloyd has fallen and is now just down to the 2. Yukio goes in, takes out the Takiro. Wants to take out Jokum, is able to find him, but now no longer has a BKB. And in the end, it will not matter. It will be GG called, and it will be Carstensz who will head on forward to the lower bracket finals and will be sending Roar home, having eliminated them from the Lunar Snake Trophy season number 6.
Good game. What a game here for Carstensz Esports. There's some back and forth team fight, but overall, looks like Carstensz Esports, they are the better team today, and kind of looking forward to the next series for Carstensz Esports. Maybe they are getting better and better after all this game. They're slowly improving. Also with Gamng newly added to the roster, it brings a lot of new recipe maybe to the team, because Gamng is a pretty top support player. Maybe he can share some of the new idea to the team, and looking forward to Carstensz Esports to the series tomorrow.
Yeah, just infusing a lot of tier 1 experience as well. Third in Dream League, Jokum back with that in esports certainly has a lot to offer for the young team that is Carstensz. Not to mention Saime as well. Some European experience for Saime added into the pool. Carstensz quite clearly in some of the close qualifiers that they do compete in, the intent to go big is definitely there, and maybe with Jokum here in this roster, that can be on that horizon. They take out Roar, who are no easy contender to take down. Roar Gaming are a pretty solid team. They, in some of the Chinese close qualifiers out there, they do seem to be doing pretty well for themselves. Not really qualifying, but still doing pretty okay. Now, as far as their run at Lunar Snake Trophy is concerned, it is going to come to an end. Carstensz will go on forward to play against the loser of, or rather whoever drops down from the winner bracket finals. That match is going to take place tomorrow at around the same time, 1500 Singaporean time, so around 3 p.m. Singaporean time. It is going to be between Veroja and Shark Squad. Veroja, who knocked down Gamng Galacticos, and Shark Squad, who knocked down Carstensz. So that should definitely be a match to watch, guys. For now, this was your host Tautrus, this was your co-host Gamng. We will be signing out, but we hope to see all of you tomorrow.